All right, coming straight from the basement of places you don't need to know. My name is Connell the DM, Connell the Cigar DM, and this is Shadow. And hopefully, the Sun part, Jack might be joining us tonight. There might be a few other people. I sent a link to the Crafty Gamer so I can make fun of him, and he can try to give it back. Hope you are having a brand new, shiny, good year. Don't worry, it won't last.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's going to be a great year. I've already off on the right foot, so to speak.
I've seen your Facebook post.
Which one?
Uh, just some of them. I commented to one of them with a picture.
Yeah, it's weird, man. We're going on our 5th year, and all the cool shit that's been going on. Who'd have thought, man?
I got a couple goals I want to pull off this year. I want to start actually seriously writing. I got an
I've already
idea.
done so. You should join Justin and I on his show and join the writing challenge.
You guys do sci-fi, and there's nothing wrong with sci-fi.
We're,
It's just
we're
not.
doing the next one starts next week is fantasy.
I kind of got a murder mystery bouncing around in my head. I want to try to knock out.
To do it.
I'll get probably 7 pages in, realize this is a crap, burn it, and try it all over again. But then another 7 pages, and
Justin's a good teacher, so shut up. I'll let you in. Oh my god, the dog again.
that, and gonna try to get through Babylon 5.
Yeah, I would like to do that again.
I gotta get past season 1.
Throw it on and break out the keyboard and start typing.
Ignore it for the first season is what I'm hearing.
No, just background it,
Yeah.
because there's some good stuff in it, and there's some things that tie all the way, from season 1 to the season 4, 5 era. What's up, Crafting? Long time no see.
Not much.
No, I mean I get that. I've heard enough of you guys talk about you gotta pay attention to the first season because it plants seeds that won't grow into anything until like the second to last season out there. But they'll I mean I appreciate that. I appreciate books that you start reading, then you're 5, 6 books down in the same series, and they shoot back to the seed that they plant in the first book. That was maybe a throwaway line, something you didn't really think about, but there it is. Simpsons are really good about that. Actually, the Simpsons cartoons are really good about. Oh yeah,
Heroes was great about it too. That's one of the series. The first 2 seasons were one of the best things that I've ever seen.
Which season? What series?
Heroes.
Oh, Heroes. Yeah, Heroes was good. Then what was it?
Heroes
The
was
writer
great.
strike. The writer strike kind of screwed them hard.
It did, and it came back not as great. They still wrapped it up, whatever. But it was just, God, the writing was so good.
There's a couple CW shows. Arrow, the Green Arrow show.
Flash up until Zoom was phenomenal.
Those shows probably only needed 2 to 3 seasons, and that was. I mean, I know everybody wants to be supernatural and go for 17 fucking years. It feels like
Supernatural should have stopped while it was still ahead.
Season 5, season 6.
Leviathans just sucked.
See, I didn't have the problem with the Leviathans. It was the moment they started including God. It's like, whoa. God, as much as I like to say, I feel God. If man's based off of God, God must be flawed because man is flawed. At what point in ever living fuck hell shit cock suck fuck universe does God need the help of man for anything?
No, it's not about that, brother. It's about being alone.
That and he had writer's block.
No, he was. I mean, all powerful, and yet all he's surrounded by is a bunch of yes men. He needed a bunch of crazy little monkeys to liven things up, and eventually divine ascend to where we
did you actually watch the final season?
Mm-hmm. I did. I hated it.
Did you?
And did you actually pay attention to how it ended? God literally could not have done what he did without Dean and Paul, specifically because they were mortal.
No,
Dean and Sam.
Yeah,
sorry, Venture Brothers. Much preferable over.
I'm so used to hearing Dean Paul, so
I actually, I don't mind. And I said I didn't mind the whole God concept. That God is
I hate it.
a struggling writer.
I wanted to shoot my TV and pull an Elvis.
Right. No, I get that. But God being a struggling writer, I kind of get that. That's kind of clever in a way.
Yeah. Could you say self-insertion much?
What?
Self-insertion much? The actual writer, just
have you never read Old Testament? He puts himself in there all the time.
Well, it's a totally different thing. No, I meant the mortal writers that pulled that crap. It was just awful. And as was the episode where they went to the realer world with no supernatural. Oh God. Oh, I hated that. Get in here.
There's definitely
that one was making fun of a few things. I mean, I don't say it was in a bad episode, but there was actually a huge rumor saying that the two actors hated each other.
And that's like
that's where the joke in the show comes from, where they hate each other off camera.
Yeah.
Where actually you don't do 17 years with some dude as your brother and you hate the guy the whole time. That just don't.
I don't know. I got brother.
Unless that paycheck is really, really, really nice.
There are moments that my younger brother is not my biggest. I'm not his biggest fan, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to like somebody to. Family is that weird scenario where you don't actually have to love them. You just have to put up with them.
No, you don't. I haven't seen my brother in close to 40 years, and if I ever see him, I'll put a bullet in him.
Then isn't he on a government paid vacation?
Yeah, for the next 400 years. So there's slim to no chance that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
Hey, monkey, get your ass in here. Hold on, let me move some stuff so the boy can join us.
Uncle Jack, Uncle Connell wants to see you.
Just here. He wasn't.
You know what you need with that long sleeve black shirt? A pair of Doc Martensons, a cup of coffee, and a cigarette sticking out of your mouth, you moody fuck.
And his penguin on his shoulder.
He has a penguin?
Yes, I got him a penguin.
Oh, yeah, like you hate this.
I was going to go to sleep.
I got him the best penguin in the world.
Does it have tits?
No.
Oh, that penguin.
Danny
have any of you guys seen the HBO?
Yeah. Wait, oh, shoot, I forgot. When did we get this?
When we get the crafting sent it to you.
Oh, my
gosh. It was an early Christmas present. I wanted to beat the Christmas fees of shipping.
Yeah. So
he beat he beat the fee so early. It was like 2 months beforehand, 3 months beforehand.
Yeah. So I'm just
tired, worn out, exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was like 5 seconds away from just jumping onto the bed and falling asleep. But here I am.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's
You're
Friday.
a teenager.
You're supposed to be staying up, partying, secretly drinking behind your dad's back, and then coming home, vomiting, and hoping that you can clean it up before anybody notices, and then passing out on the bed.
And when you go to take a piss,
that's what we do.
That's what he would do.
Right. When you go to take a piss, you're thinking you're pissing in the toilet, but really you're pissing on your robe. But it's all right because it's your younger brother's or your dad's, and you're drunk. Things you do when you're drunk.
I just remembered that. You guys remember that Orlando Bloom skit on Mad TV where he pissed in the microwave?
Wait, that was a skit
on Mad TV. Oh yeah, it was really funny.
Wait. I guess I'm the only one here that lived in a rugby house, which AKA
no, Orlando wasn't. That's it. Yeah.
My kid, my oldest, wanted to know what it was like to live in a rugby house. I showed him Animal House, which is close enough.
Sure.
He's like, "Does that make you Belushi?" I'm like, "I'm not answering that question."
Well, no, because you're still alive.
Yeah, I'm on borrowed time.
Yeah, I think we all are. But except this guy, he's going to be around forever.
He's going to be the next pope. Just don't tell them
see-
you're from America. Tell them that you're from Mexico. Then you really can become the pope. Because there will never be American pope in any of our lifetimes, any of our grandchildren's lifetimes.
You see, Jackie will be around forever, but only because he's going to once he's finally sick or tired of his dad, he's going to sacrifice him in a ritual to seal all of his immortal power, Highlander style.
I don't know. He could be like Uncle Connell and pickle his liver.
I mean,
well, that's one form of immortality, but I don't think medical studies count as true immortality.
You know, Rasputin, the only thing that has survived from Rasputin is his dong. They have that in a glass jar in a museum.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's fun.
After being poisoned, not realizing the poison would be baked out of it because that's how it happened. Poison, shot, beaten, and thrown into a frozen lake.
Hellboy put it the best. Rasputin, poisoned at a ceremony meant for in his honor, then stabbed, shot, clubbed, castrated, and finally drowned. That is the best way to put Rasputin's death, because that's literally what happened, word for word.
The Mad Monk.
He was kind of just a perfectly like, the only reason he was hated was because of the Russian nobility's extreme paranoia. Like, he probably didn't have relations with the Russian queen. He was definitely not a sorcerer. He just, like, he wasn't practicing black magic or whatever. He just knew basic medicine, and it's like, this is what we should do for your son. And he was probably a womanizer.
There was no probably about it. He was the Benjamin Franklin of Russia. Russian women would pay to sleep with him, like the French women paid to sleep with Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, it wasn't just that, like, oh, he might be sleeping with the queen, and they were also saying that he was like a German spy that was going to tear down Russia from the inside. That's more what I'm referring to.
Everything I ever read about the guy, an honest look at the guy, he was fucking nuts. But that's all right.
I mean, isn't everyone?
He just hitched his wagon to the wrong royalty. That, and people are superstitious. They've always been superstitious. And you say the woman down the street practiced black magic and she has a cat. Well, she's now a witch, and we'll have a trial.
And if she weighs more than a duck, she's a witch.
I love American
history. That was more of an American and Western thing, but yeah, I get what you mean.
That was a Monty Python reference,
right? From the whole.
I know. I know that. I meant the whole Salem thing.
Oh, okay.
I've been to Salem.
By the way, it's sad that, like, people only think of Salem as like, oh, they burned women for like dumb reasons. It's like, yeah, they didn't burn them, but like there was.
Here's one of the things they virtually never talk about when at the Salem massacre. More than just women were burned. There were men accused of witchcraft as well.
Yeah, one man was put between like two boards, and they just kept throwing stones on them until he was crushed to death.
Uh-huh.
Not even because he was convicted of something, but they did that to try to get him to plead anything. Because what they wanted was to steal his land. Because it's like, if you pled guilty, well, okay, they take his land in the trial and have him executed. Or he pleads innocent, and he's still found guilty in the trial because the Salem trials were all botched anyways.
Yeah.
So he just didn't plead anything and died, and they couldn't take his stuff.
Yeah, we don't do that stuff anymore here in America. We just claim intimate domain or whatever it's fucking called. And yeah, what your dad says, and put an airport there because, well, the airport's more important than your livelihood.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got into an argument with my father about.
They usually pay you what it's worth.
10 cents on the dollar.
No.
Yeah.
Is what I've mainly been hearing. If you won't sell to them outright and they have to go down that route, they screw you.
Yeah, that's why you just go that route, and
So if you have a family farm, if you have a family, so Shadow, let's say you have a family farm. Your dad was healthy and whatnot, and down the male line, right? You have a family farm that's been producing cattle or something over the last several hundred years, and some multi-billion-dollar company wants to put a mall on your land for no other reason, just to put the mall there. Sure, I'll take your $5-6 million check when everything is probably worth 3 times that amount, 4 times that amount. Plus, your family's buried there. You work there. We're going to leave it to Jack.
Well, they will exhume the bodies and move them, and the big fat paycheck and all your property, that's on the property, you take it with you.
This is my pen.
I just don't think it's right, personally.
It was in my backpack.
I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. It's the beginning of the year. I got plans. Jack's got plans. His plans are long term. Sacrifice his dad, become immortal, become the president and the pope. So far from separation of church and state.
No, it's a very expensive now.
Plan on stabbing someone with it?
No. Why would I use that when I've got so many other fun implements?
No, it's right here.
So, Jack, did you get everything you want for Christmas? Did your dad buy you a pony this year?
No.
There wasn't anything that I wanted, specifically.
A stack of books?
I forgot to write a list of books.
Yeah, he didn't ask for books. This is the first year in a while he hasn't asked for books.
I just forgot. Well, no, that the real answer is I forgot. But I'm gonna say that I don't know what I'm gonna say.
An extra $20.
There was only one book on your previous list that we couldn't find.
Well, then you could have done that.
No, it's like $100. I'm not paying $100.
What $100 book was I asking?
Democracy: The God That Failed.
How is that $100?
It was like $80.
First edition, signed, bathed in virgin blood.
No, it's just a hard book to find. Some books are really hard to find these days. I looked eBay, I looked Amazon, I looked somewhere else, and there's just.
What book am I'm cheating right now. I'm listening to books because I don't have time to sit down and actually read.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that too. I'm reading a couple of books, but nothing spectacular, and listening to an audiobook whenever I can pick up the time.
At least every 2 weeks.
Mostly listening to music, though.
Music's good. Anything new or old stuff?
Very old stuff. Golden Earrings Complete Collection.
How on earth is that old?
1965.
That's old.
No, you see, he's lying.
I consider old something that was made in like the 20s or something.
No. I'm pretty sure Jackie can confirm this. When Shadow says old, he's just trying to actually cover up for the fact that he actually listens to Mongolian throat music, something he invented.
He probably did invent it, but there's no way you could get him to listen to something like that.
First of all, Mongolian throat music is actually kind of cool.
Oh no, I listen. I don't actively listen to it. I have listened to it. It's good. I like it. He wouldn't because he's lame and boring.
And actually, I wasn't making a jab at.
Have an electric guitar in it. It's crap. That's
see what I mean?
Yeah, and I wasn't actually making a jab at Mongolian throat music. I was making a jab at Shadow being old.
All right, I'm going to send you a band. It's Mongolian throat music. It's called the Hu, H-U, and they use guitars.
All right.
They're kind of heavy metal for that thought processing. Do you know the band Papa Roach?
Yes.
They did a song with Papa Roach, which was actually really fucking good.
All right. I'll give it a listen.
Now I just need that banner. Now you know.
Yep. The more you know.
The more you know. And that's half the battle.
Yeah, we need that over on Justin's show in the morning. Although it's not always a good thing.
I was been half tempted to write a letter to the incoming President Trump. I will call him by his title. He is the president. You don't have to respect the man, but you should always respect the office.
He is technically not president yet.
But he's still president.
Elect. No, might as well. But Biden's still in office.
He's already done more in the last 20 days than Biden did in the 4 years. So
that's objectively not true, but not in a good way, obviously.
Yes, he's played a lot of golf.
No, he's done a lot of other things.
And played golf.
I don't know that he's played much golf, to be honest.
He's played a lot.
I think he's kind of shying away from the golf course since the last time he was on the golf course.
Yeah. I'd be shying away from rallies, but that's just putting my ear on the subject. But no. Instead of Greenland, Canada, Panama,
God, so awesome.
No. I don't want Canada. I don't want Canada. I don't want Greenland.
Because Greenland maybe, but still, whenever I look at a map of how what countries are run by monarchies and seeing that big of a landmass switch from what it is now to a filthy egalitarian republic would be moderately upsetting. But also annexing Canada would just be a really bad decision. It would,
they don't want us.
The right-wing perspective, yeah, most Canadians, the kind of Canadians we would want that aren't supporting all their weird eugenics and euthanasia programs are very patriotic and wouldn't want to be annexed anyways, and the kind that would be of the more sort of internationalist mindset in Canada that doesn't really exist, because you're either patriotic and you like being friends with the US, but you're still a patriotic Canadian, or you're a patriotic Canadian and you hate the US because Canada is so much more enlightened and liberal and whatever. Or
do you really want to be
neither of those people would want to be annexed.
Do you really want to be stuck with Justin?
Yeah, but look on the bright side. We get the Dungeon Minister. We get Barry, the Gen X GM. We get Sean from Age's Musings. Need I go on?
Yeah, they
wouldn't want to be annexed.
Yeah, but they might not get a choice.
If you
That's
are
why it's called annexing.
Yeah, okay. If you are a citizen of a country and you desire your country to be annexed into a larger entity, there are very few times where that is not just an example of cultural treason.
I know. I think it's more of a joke. That's why I keep pushing on it.
Right, no, but going back to
a funny Fallout reference in real life. I get it. That's based. But
going back to what I was saying, I want Cuba. They produce great baseball players. They know how to fix cars that are worth driving. Because anything that lasts 20 years makes me good. And, I can smoke a Cuban cigar. Actually, it wouldn't be a Cuban cigar. It would be an American cigar.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're thinking ahead.
Peoria, Illinois was one of the biggest cigar industries in America for a long ass time, and alcohol.
Yeah, my grandfather, Jackie's great grandfather, had several cigar shops throughout your area back in the day.
Now, if I was wearing a hat, I'd take it off to the man. As being a person who is a partner to a cigar lounge / shop, it's a business. It's a business choice that I respect.
Yeah, you should hurry up and send me a cigar because it'd be the last one I'd ever smoke.
Can I?
I don't know.
I'd rather just
If you don't say that's what's in it, I don't see why not. You throw it in a priority box or envelope and take your chances.
Yeah, but when it goes to the X-ray machines, it's little brown sticks. Oh, well, not brown sticks, but little sticks. People kind of get curious.
I don't know if the
you can
X-ray.
order alcohol off Amazon. I don't see why you can't send tobacco.
Yeah,
That's
tobacco-
different. They have license.
No,
Yeah,
that's fair.
so tobacco's a little different. All you have to do is just send me an it's a boy's cigar. I'm sure it'll fly right through.
You guys not have any cigar shops near where you guys are at?
No, it's not, we do actually. It's just I'm going to be probably quitting smoking in the next 3 weeks. So after that, no vaping, none of that crap.
Okay, Jack. Since you live with this
individual,
and he says that he's quit smoking, is going to quit smoking. I want you to tell Uncle Connell if he sticks to the program.
Well, the program's going to have to include some weaning myself off it. So,
as I said earlier,
I'm looking into. I don't like the patch idea. More like the mints or the gum or whatever stuff like that. But because cold turkey can be really bad for you. And at my age.
See, here's my impression of a Shadow trying to quit smoking. Well, I tried the gum. I couldn't keep it lit. I tried the patches. They pulled the skin off my lips.
I tried gum and I kept swallowing it. Hey, all joking aside,
though. It's actually more expensive to quit smoking than it is to continue smoking, or at least for me.
Well, it's more expensive in the short term. In the long term, are expensive. Smoking's more expensive.
With some of the weird ass taxes you guys have in California, I mean, you guys are worse than the Catholic Church on some stupid shit.
Yeah. That reminds me, I'm going to church again this weekend. So.
Wow.
Pardon me.
Hey Shadow.
Not my hand. I almost messed something up.
Hey Shadow, I got some good news for you.
Yeah, we had a couple of miracles this week, so I need to say thank you in person.
You wake up and everything was pointing north?
No. That was good. No, we had a garbage disposal die on us, and we thought one of our refrigerators, and it turned out all we had to do was hit the breakers and reset everything, and it all came back peachy keen. So,
yep.
That'd have been like I was telling Justin and crafting earlier. It'd have been we dodged a $1,500 bullet easy.
That's all you would pay for a refrigerator?
Have you seen how fucking cheap TVs are these days?
Oh yeah, seriously. No, well, I mean, the one we have was the bargain, basement of refrigerators. We weren't going to get anything with a camera inside or the touch screen on the outside or ice maker or any of that crap. It was just basic fridge and garbage disposal.
Oh, a couple I know. They're Jewish. Their refrigerator, their stove, and a couple other things have the ability, if you push in the right combination the buttons at the right time on the refrigerator for Sabbath, the light won't come on when you open up the fridge. The stove will not work. It'll stay on warm, but it won't like they're not breaking their rules.
Really?
Yeah, cool. I think that is really cool.
I mean, if that's the rules, I'm pretty sure they're kind of archaic at the least.
Of course you'd say that, you darn evangelical.
Oh.
Just saying. I mean,
really? You want to go after a culture, religion because they have old. No,
I mean it's just.
What? I mean,
yeah, he would like to do that.
Yeah,
modernist.
There are some things that I think have to change with time, and
when you go to church, do you kneel down, cross yourself, stand up, put your finger up? Well, actually, you're supposed to put your finger in the holy water first, cross yourself, kneel, then get back and go to a pool, right?
Well, the kneeling is a little hard, but yeah, I do.
Right.
Much as feasible.
But it's
like this with the cooking, right? If you go to a fast food restaurant, it's okay, but you can't do it yourself.
They're not even supposed to leave their house, to be honest.
Oh, really?
It's day of rest. That means no driving, no working, no turning on anything that would be considered work. Starting a fire.
I could get into that. Just not getting out of bed on Sunday.
Saturday,
even better. There's better stuff on TV.
It was originally even in the Christian thought processing, it was originally Saturday, but because we still have some in the very beginning some pagan overlaps, which we still do, they decided to call it Sunday because we already have people worshiping the sun god, so we'll just bump our Christian beliefs onto Sunday.
Yeah, well, that was more of an Anglican thing. I mean, not Anglican as in the Church of England, but Anglican as in English religious practice.
That was King Constantine or Emperor Constantine that started that.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the sun part of Sunday, the etymological roots of it, because in most Romance languages, like Spanish, for example, it's Domingo, which would just be Day of the Lord, basically, or Dominion.
I really got to learn Spanish.
I'm still working on English.
That doesn't surprise me there, Haas.
I know two languages, good English and bad English.
Learn and then forget so many languages since the dawn of humanity. I mean, this guy was there when, like, the first person ever was. He was the one that did that. That was him, canonically.
Well, you know, just because you kill your first brother, you never live it down. Just saying.
Did he walk in on you, stroking the camel hump?
No, he had this really cool coat. And should have been mine, but Dad was playing.
He got to the leopard first.
Wait! You said coat. Are you mixing religious figures up? Because that was Joseph in the coat.
Oh, okay. Was it? It's been so long.
Yeah,
it's been so long.
The whole Cain and Abel thing was because Cain was like worse at like what he sacrificed.
He thought Mom, Dad, and God loved Abe more.
Yeah, he was a douche.
He was probably right.
Apple polisher.
Jeez. So, what's your goals for this year, Jack?
My goals?
Get a girlfriend, boyfriend.
He should learn to juggle chainsaws.
I need grandkids. Come on.
Are you not going to get any grandsons if he becomes the Pope? Well, no, that's not true.
Doesn't that technically make like every single Catholic ever?
Well, no, there's a workaround. There's a workaround. If in theory you have a family first, then you get the call from God to become a priest. That's the workaround.
I mean, at that point, like, if you've already won at life, there's no need to go for that kind of a side quest.
Apparently, you've never been married.
It's not always winning at life.
You see, that's what people like you say.
I've known plenty of people that did not, hit the jackpot like they thought.
Yeah, well,
I wasn't pointing at you at all, but thanks for volunteering.
Granted, I have a beautiful and highly intelligent daughter who is, as I say, she is my favorite daughter. And her response is, I'm your only daughter. And my response is, that you know of.
Yeah.
It's like, Jack's your favorite son. But I'm Dad's.
He does have a daughter.
Oh,
that is,
no,
Jack's his favorite living son.
Well, he's been around long enough. That's probably true.
That is entirely a possibility.
Of course it is.
No, like I told your dad, my goals this year is getting through Babylon 5. start actually writing, not hemming and hawing about, but actual fucking start writing. Smoke more cigars. Easy enough.
See, that's a respectable goal.
Yeah. My daughter for Lent told me I should give up cigars for Lent. I'm like, I'll give up cigar. I'll give up cigars for Lent. She's like, really? I'm like, cheap ones. Like no Swiss or Sweets. No Titans. No Dutch Masters.
No backwoods smokes. No.
Yeah. They have to be like $10 or more. I can respect this.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound like much of a sacrifice to me.
You know what my grandpa
Dude, I gave up bacon last year.
Because you're an idiot.
It was all I had left, you know? What was I going to give up? Smoking? No.
You're doing that now.
Yeah, but that was
you can give up you can give up self-indulging carnal pleasures.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fellatio?
Yeah. We'll
Jack, help me out here. Fellatio.
What?
Yeah, fellatio. No, that's not fellatio. That's Jack and the Rabbit. Beating the Bishop.
Beating what? I'm confused by these euphemisms.
You should be.
You're what, 15,
That just
Jack?
seems cruel. What?
16.
16? And he doesn't understand polishing the knob, beating the bishop, stroking the...
These are just silly words to me.
My God. You're so precious, you sweet summer child. You're lucky that I came into your life. I don't know about Justin, but you're lucky that I came into your life.
I was
well,
just
Justin doesn't really pick
earlier.
on Jackie. He just has Jackie help him gang up on Shadow. Now, the one that I really feel sorry for Justin being in her life is Raven. Justin convinced Raven to look up Bukkake.
Look up what?
Nothing. You don't want to know.
Bukkake?
You don't want to know.
Go look it up, Justin. Go look it up, Jackie. Sorry.
You know, considering we're live on the internet, I'm not going to tell a 15, 16, 15? A minor to look up certain aspects on the internet.
Yeah, don't.
I don't. Listen, if it's coming from Justin, I don't trust it in this context. In other contexts, sure, fine, whatever. Like when it comes to, gosh, you switched the name around again.
Of course they did. Ah.
Is it Shadwell?
Yeah, Shadwell now.
Shadwell
As
Productions.
it should be. I don't know why he keeps spelling it wrong.
You also have to remember Jackie doesn't act like a 16-year-old, so it's easy to forget that he's a minor. Okay.
Because I got the same set you did.
Yeah, but I've seen pictures of him
Wait, but then
when he's younger.
It's in your room. Sorry, we were arguing.
Oh no, that doesn't. What do you mean you got the same set? My set has a weird lace thing around it.
Oh, now we lost
one set on the internet. I bought one set at.
I'm about to say, Shadow arguing implies that one of you might be wrong, one of you might be right.
I'm right.
This is a one-sided discussion where Jackie's just straight right.
No. As long as Jackie doesn't become far right, I'll be okay with that.
Oh, there's no chance of that, unless they change the definition later on down the road, which who knows, right? See, we have this thing. Pilot pens are the only pens we use. They're the best pens. Precise 5s and 7s. And he and I each got a new set of the multicolor pack, but one has this weird print design on it and one doesn't. And he thought mine were his, even though they're in my.
I just want to say neither me or anybody on this channel is sponsored by Pilot's Pen. Now, if pens are watching this, I wouldn't mind being sponsored by you guys. I do go through enough of you guys' pens.
I recognize that these ones are mine, but I also recognize that those ones are yours, with the exception of this purple one right here because I knew I had one in my backpack and it is not anywhere to be found in there. I have checked. That is a falsity.
It's a brand new set. The whole set.
Again, you clearly have stolen one of my other ones because the purple one is missing.
It's like having a conversation with
and
my
unless
daughter.
I go through the entire.
Come on, get in here. Get in here. Come on. They don't want to hear us bicker.
Fine,
They probably do.
I'm fine.
Get out
I'm
of my
stealing
chair.
it. No, I'm stealing
Get
the
out of my
chair.
damn chair.
I'm stealing. This is my. This is
No.
this current moment. This is my chair.
Get the fuck out of my chair.
No, I'm standing my
I will
ground.
light
here.
your ass on fire. Where's my lighter?
Honestly, that would be better than the alternative.
Next to your crack pipe?
I don't do drugs.
He makes them. He does not do his own product.
That's smart.
Oh yeah, no, it is. I would do the same.
No. He's too busy using product to get in the gay community for his videos, so he doesn't actually have the ability to use it.
I have no idea what are you talking about.
Oh yeah, are you like a symbol in like the gay community or something?
I'm not in the gay community.
You kidding me? He's Shadow, the beacon of all gay men.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Oh wait, you trimmed your beard. You don't have your dangling thing hanging.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you. Hey, what's up, Raven? Where the hell you been? You, me, and Bruce were supposed to do the Three Musketeers thing. You guys freaking chickened out. I let it go for a year.
You see this beard? You see this beard?
Yeah, but I don't see the freaking curly mustache and shit.
Just happy I have a beard. I'm one of those guys that should never trim off their beard. Just
you didn't have to trim it. Just do the mustache.
Tell you what,
hysterical. It would have been hysterical
if you can last, honestly, if you can last 4 months without smoking a cigarette, I will trim my beard to make it look trim and shave where I look like one of those Porthos. Yes.
Okay, the internet's forever, brother. When I come back in 4 months
now, Jack, here's the thing. I need you to be completely honest. If he has one cigarette past what you're going to try to quit here in 3 days?
No.
Whenever President Trump is inaugurated, that was his thing. It's whenever he is in the office, like the second it is confirmed that he's going to try to push it back as far as possible. It's like no, not when he's inaugurated. How about when we have this confirmed? Well, no, when he passes his first legislation.
I said when he was in the White House. I said when he's in the White House. All right. As president. That's the 20th.
So, the 20th.
That's when I quit.
All right.
Quitting on the 20th. You have that.
I don't know how long it's going to take me to be fully quit, though. If I just go cold turkey, trust me, your mom and I are getting a divorce.
Hey, you're Catholic. There's no divorce for you.
Yeah, but they never even got married in the church.
I'm not Catholic.
I'm religiously a bastard. Yes.
Technically, it's not even a real marriage.
Yeah, and I consider legal marriage to be kind of.
You do, but the Catholic Church doesn't.
Well, yeah, that's not where I was going with that statement.
Oh, okay.
I said it's basically a formality, anyways, and that's the whole bastard thing. These guys, they need to actually get married, or else it doesn't count in that regard, anyways. Obviously, the others.
Just me, always it didn't matter. Hey,
actually, I am perfectly fine with that aspect of the Catholic Church because I thought I was going to have to go through counseling and all that fun stuff with me and my ex. And they asked me some simple questions. One, did the priest marry you? I'm like, no. Were you married in the Catholic Church? No. Well, you won't catch any flack on our side. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, no, that's how this, yeah.
Now it's just between me, her, and the state. Fuck.
Hey, at least you have one potential front cleared.
Yeah.
Hey, Raven, I can't message you from here. Why don't you come on in? Class to join up. Throw the link out there. You stop. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm always kind of cautious after putting the link up there after your woes.
That's fair.
You see, this man.
I got the link. I could send it to Raven Direct.
You wanted to see that? Like that was the highlight of his whole life, probably.
I mean, that's why Shadwell production got started.
Yeah, no.
And that's where it abruptly died.
So you agreed that it existed?
Yeah, a guy came on the show and did some horrible things, and
you loved it.
So, have you heard the story? Sorry.
Who hasn't he heard the story from? Seriously.
Oh, Justin brings it up.
No, is Justin here now?
No, he hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah, people, every channel that we know of has probably talked about it with or without me in their presence.
I mean, it could be worse.
I'm honestly surprised that like Max Liao or Bloodworth or some of the older, bigger channels, Vengeance Satanis, not bigger, but definitely older, didn't have that sort of thing happen to them as well.
Because they didn't want it. You did.
Did not want that to happen.
Yes, you did.
It's funny as hell, but I didn't ask for it. That's for sure.
You were planning that. You were just hoping you got to see more of it.
No. Although I do get a kick out of making Justin Reed remember it. That's hysterical because you can literally see him die a little inside.
While your face and the whole world lights up, remembering the moment.
No, but I do enjoy the shit out of making Justin remember it.
You enjoy remembering it yourself.
No, dude, it's not a big deal.
Well, you saw it. I would not know if it was a big deal or not.
He
was it? I wasn't.
He had nothing to be ashamed of other than the act.
Good for him.
Well, I had plenty to be ashamed of. Who shaves their legs? What guy shaves their legs? And on top of that, had he ever seen the sun in his life? He was the same color as his albino sheets.
I didn't notice that kind of.
Why
detail.
were you paying that much attention?
Because I wasn't paying attention to his schlong. It's like my first thought was, why does he have swimmer legs?
And I can't say anything about.
I'm pretty certain that he wasn't from the United States, so whether it was Mexico or somewhere in South America or something like that.
I doubt it was Mexico. I mean, that guy was white.
Spain, maybe? I don't know. Argentina.
A Spaniard would do that. An Argentinian would do that. They love doing that kind of thing.
I can't say anything about shaving legs because I used to swim. I used to be on a swimming team. It just is what it is. That's an interesting noise my cigar just made.
Noise?
Yep. Here in a minute, we're going to hear pop.
Have you guys ever used those? The old cigar loads or cigarette loads? You know what I'm talking about?
I would have been killed for wasting cigarettes or cigars.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They look like miniature joints.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you would feed them into somebody's cigar or cigarette, and then they'd light it, and it would explode. Good times.
I always question your definition of good times, but as of right now, I'll let it be.
Man.
Oh, you mean that?
Of course, yeah.
The RPG by Red Room Men.
Oh man, I just found out that my daughter, I had absolutely no idea, but my daughter is into Ninja Turtles.
Which era?
Original Ninja Turtles.
Comic book original comics? Or TV original?
Cartoon original, not comics.
Oh, okay.
But still.
Yeah, that is better than the modern bullshit. Have you seen the most recent rendition? They're literally borderline on horror shows of what they look like.
I don't.
They're actually ugly and kind of monstrous.
Well, they are mutant turtles. They were never supposed to be,
Yes, but even in the original comic, they were more giant turtles, not giant monsters.
We just learned something about Crafty. He's into turtles.
So just like Max?
Hey, I grew up Ninja Turtles. Thank you. That cartoon, we had like 15 through 3 or 4 episode VHSs of Ninja Turtles from various seasons. So I grew up with that.
No, kid. And I say this dearly. I had the toys.
I had a lot of toys. I still have a lot of toys. They're around here somewhere.
I had the original toys. I had the original He-Man toys. How about that?
That's pretty gay.
As a kid, how would you freaking know?
That means so much coming from you.
They were pretty freaking gay.
You were a grown-ass man.
You're just projecting.
Yes. No, they were pretty fucking gay. That's common.
I had Thundercat. I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had some of the old X-Men toys. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have asked for 2 of everything. One stays in the package, because holy crap.
Yeah, the market for that sort of thing is almost dead.
Yeah, but if I was able to cash it in.
Yeah, if you had cashed them in about 20 years ago, maybe
10.
Really, you think?
About 10 years ago. I was just watching.
I watch a couple of toy channels, and along with comic books, the market is just about
even
in your lifetime, Connell. You'll see comic books being just dumped in landfills like crazy.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my mother's trying to find homes for a home for her set of Marvel, X-Men, not just like Marvel and some DC and Star Trek and a few other mixture of trading cards she has. And it's like, I can't help you, Mother. I don't know anything about cards.
Yeah, I actually probably have every card that she's talking about. And if they're in great shape,
most of them are.
And boxed up nicely, throw them on eBay and wait for someone to take a bite. Do the research, see how much they're going for, put a price that's a little bit lower, put them on eBay, and just wait for someone to take the bite. And it could be years or decades before that happens, because trading cards like they were, in the early aughts, late 90s, there was a big, huge just glut of that sort of thing. And they're not worth the paper they're printed on 90% of the time. Unless they're like original Star Trek from like the 60s or something.
This is a combination of Next Generation, mostly Next Generation, and a few things from
maybe you could get some money for them, but good luck, man.
Well, the ones I suspect that she get most of them for are the specialty ones, because she doesn't have that many. She got a few character cards, like she's actually got a plastic hologram Professor X, but she's also got a lot of event cards, like the time the Thing's wife ended up being replaced with an alien shapeshifter, and she fell in love with Human Torch.
Oh,
she actually has that event card.
I know that story.
Yeah, individual cards, even less likely to make any money. It's complete sets.
Here's the thing, though. You never know what somebody is looking for. eBay is the right aspect. Remember when Lord of the Rings came out and McDonald's did those glass goblets? They also did them from Flintstones. I saw a full set of the goblets from Lord of the Rings go for $1,000.
Mm-hmm. I've got the original somewhere. The original Empire Strikes Back from Burger King.
Oh God!
Yeah, tell me about it. How hard that. And I traveled from one side of the country to Virginia and back, and they're still. If I still own them, they're still in perfect shape.
They're only as worth as somebody's willing to pay for them.
Yep. And the same with most collectibles. With the day Toys R Us shut down was the beginning of the actual end of collecting.
Sad day.
Well, I guess in that context, yeah.
In things that don't have anything but some minor cultural relevance, Star Wars, Star Trek, things like that. You go back further than that, and there's nobody alive to remember it, and that'll always be the case. next generation. You wait 20, 30 years, and there won't be anybody who remembers it.
Okay, listen. This is a weird thing I found out, and technically it doesn't count exactly. But there is somebody who has dedicated a large amount of money and an entire section of their room in their house to a now since retired color of Crayola crayons. Okay, there will be somebody who cares enough. It's actually a very interesting thing. I'm not like saying very cool stuff, but there will be someone who would want that.
You think so? I hope so.
Oh yeah.
Because when that stops, you know what stops next? Museums and libraries.
Yeah, museums and libraries have existed for thousands of years.
I know they have.
There was a guy in ancient Sumeria writing about how it's so jover, the youth is so bad, it's so jover for our society, and then it continued to exist.
Great, wasn't it?
No, this is just some random guy writing about it. And then the society continued for hundreds more years before, it eventually collapsed.
Right, but they didn't have what we have. That hey, what's up, Janet? That being the internet and the cell phone or the smartphone. People, 99% of people would rather just look at the thing on their phone and be done with it than to take the trip.
That's such a boomer thing to say. And I can't believe I just said that, but that's the only way I can describe it.
You want to go to the library tomorrow?
I don't want to do anything tomorrow.
Okay, see.
You're talking to the wrong person.
Oh, so he wants to take some turn of the century cough syrup.
Sure, why not?
Be careful, you might get superpowers doing that. I know I did.
Oh no, there's a turn of the century cough syrup bottle I found on Pinterest as a hilarious joke. It's got like alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, and the caption underneath is "You can't sneeze if you're unconscious."
Listen, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were telling me about how they were excited that they just got their library card. Okay, it is not so joker.
No, I said it will be though. When collecting, the average citizen collecting things from the past.
Speaking of collections, I was actually thinking about starting an insect collection.
The hell you say?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
An insect collection.
Oh, okay. I heard something else.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you would collect that.
I mean,
I have an idea what you mean.
You have to go to Arkansas.
But you don't have to do that. He is half Mexican. He can just go back to the homeland.
Oh yeah, no. A few weeks ago, my mom was recommending I marry my cousin. Unironically.
Is she hot?
She at least cute.
I mean, after talking to a few people that I know that are married to Mexicans, I'd rather marry a woman from a more male-friendly culture than what we got bouncing around here in the States.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to entertain any of what.
Hey, you already said you wouldn't even you didn't want anything to do with California girls, which despite what Diamond Dave used to say, is now a wise choice.
I mean, yeah, first cousins, ew. I mean, but if it's your second cousin,
I think she's like fourth or something, but that's
then you're good. You are.
It's not even a cousin.
Yeah, you're related by name, barely.
That's not really the point anymore.
Because it goes back to my original question.
Well, she's a reasonable age, right? It's not like 12.
No, I think she's like a year older than me.
Can she cook?
Don't do that. Yeah, never, no.
Well, hold on. Can she cook?
I don't know if I actually ever want to take your advice, given the way that you are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Hey. Not hey, you, hey, him.
Oh, he's talking about me, of course.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. And this is God's honest truth. If you ever do get married, there's something you really need to understand. It is better to be happy than it is to be right. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at your dad.
He's never either.
I'm
No.
constantly both.
No. I have a
Okay,
better
so you're
one.
just one.
I'm happy because I'm right.
You're happy.
No.
because
You see,
think you're right.
there's a much better way of putting that.
That's good enough for me. Ignorance is bliss and all that, and prove me wrong.
Well, Connell, there's a much better way of putting that. It's the way Jeff Foxworthy put it. There is a set of rules, and rule number 1 is if she ain't happy, you ain't happy.
What kind of malarkey is that?
And this is why I don't.
And if you ain't happy long enough, you're going to be unhappy with half your stuff.
No.
Just saying, man. When it comes
that may be the law of the land most places, but
no, you're in California. It's split right down the middle. Unless she can prove to a judge that you have beaten her or abused Jack, then she can get awarded most up to like 70% of your shit.
it'll never happen.
I have a cousin who lives.
She'd have to want my stuff. Okay, right off the bat. Then she'd have to have the time to sell my stuff, which would take up the rest of her life. And trust me.
If they get divorced, it's going to be half of it's going to be because she doesn't want all that stuff. She want it gone. And if he takes it with him, that's fine.
It's just the manual labor of moving my shit to anything other than a ginormous dumpster.
Yeah. There's some old school gamers around here. I mean, and they're, like I said, they're older gentlemen. And every so often I get a message via text, such and such passed away, which means they all need to hurry over to that person's house before the shovel and the garbage can gets put in the hobby room.
Oh, yeah.
People who do that deserve a toasty spot in hell.
Well, I haven't figured out where it's going yet, but now that I know I have a family member who's interested and trying to get his kids interested. If I don't have any kids by a certain point, I think I know who I'm going to be bequeathing my at least get hobby supplies to.
Good, because it's I mean, it's only going to last a generation or two that your stuff will get passed down before it just ends up in the dump. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that or find a local game shop and just have them buy it. That's what there's a place here in town that does that. Will buy a state of gamer stuff and give the family, a fair price for it. Then
it's never a fair price. It's at best 25%.
Well, that's the secondhand market. Any way you run it, that's the secondhand market.
No, that's at best. It's more likely going to be a buck. Like 10 cents on the dollar.
And those guys, the owner, the shop I'm thinking about, he actually does his people right. But that's, once again, you got to find somebody who has, ethics and good morals to offload your plastic and lead hobby to.
That's why it's crucial to impart the understanding of, that it does actually have a value other than, your basic value of plastic army men. Some of these individual pieces, if you take the time, are worth more than what they originally paid for, and even more if, like, for example, there's some YouTubers, if they passed away tomorrow and their wives or girlfriends or significant others put their stuff online and sold it, it would go for, up to 10 times its actual value because of who used to own it.
But let's be honest, at that juncture of time, no one's really fucking thinking straight. And if and if the kids, it is what it is. It's just how stuff goes.
It doesn't take much to have a couple of conversations with your little ones and sort of impress upon them that this isn't just junk. It has a value, and that money, if either all at once or over time, if if you're going to get rid of it, you can make enough money to where you can do something just as important with your life from that point on.
That's fair.
Whether it's paying for a down payment on a house or paying for.
I don't think any of us have anything that's worth that much these days.
This guy does. Probably a couple.
Wait, what?
Anything in your dad's collection you think you can hawk to buy a house with, or at least a down payment?
Oh, absolutely.
In this market?
Oh, well, I'm not going anywhere for a while.
I don't think it's going to get any better.
Probably going to outlive us all. He's been doing it long enough. I mean, I'd be perfectly willing to put a stop to it. But, I don't think I will. I'd be willing, but, I don't think...
Yeah, first you got to get really good at sword play. And then you got to really, really, really get a good, strong sword arm so you can lop his head off in a single go.
You're overthinking it, Crafty. There is no protection when you're asleep. I don't care how thick that blanket is. It's not going to be bullet.
A chainmail blanket.
Yeah, right.
With his stripe.
He probably had one at one point.
Well, it was scale mail, but still, yeah.
No. Better than nothing.
My ex-wife pointed it out to me once. It's like, you might be a badass when you're awake, but you have to sleep sometime. Like, she's got a point.
You're giving me ideas.
Your dad's an awesome person.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's debatable.
I must have done something right.
Must have been very wrong.
That's still doing something right.
By the way, you never answered my question about the insect collection.
They better be dead, and your mother better never ever find out about it.
Oh, he's got a stash.
I don't give a shit.
He's got a stash. Oh, your dad has a stash of Playgirls.
What?
Your dad has a stash of Playgirls.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's. Yeah, Playgirl. Never mind. You got it right.
It's a porno mag for either women or gay men. You figure it out.
He also has a lifetime membership at the Secret Boy Fan Club for Chippendales.
Yeah, there's no porn allowed in this house.
That's not true. He made one.
No, I did not make it.
He wrote and directed.
Shut the fuck. That's not how that happened.
Has he ever moved some of the figures in inappropriate positions?
Some of the figures are just in inappropriate positions.
You're not wrong about that.
I'll come in here to steal some of his note cards to draw on or sticky notes or whatever. And then I'll just see a bunch of bent over naked women. And I don't want that. That's weird. Why does he have that? That's a weird thing to own.
Because they went with the Hungar miniature. Because when
great excuse.
No,
you're gonna break those ankles of yours there, Shadow.
No, because we got that big 3D printed of Hungar, right? And so Jackie and I painted it up, and I'm like, okay, now all he needs is some women worshiping him. You know what I mean? And so I had Brian find some 3D prints, send me a couple of them. I painted them up quickly and because it's just flesh tone done and left their hair white. And then I took some pictures and sent it to Hungar, as a, here's to you, buddy. And that was it. I don't even know where they are.
Thankfully.
But it was funny. If you saw the pictures, Hungar got the open up Discord, saw him and went, nice. Right? Because they're 28 millimeter women and Hungar's 72 scale millimeter or whatever, so it's a giant Hungar and they're all worshiping at the feet.
Is that the reverse version of Death by Snoo Snoo?
Something. Yeah, I just thought it was funny, and he'd get a kick out of it,
Oh, I get it.
Dirty old man, it's just a tribute to the old part.
Bruce has a miniature of Hungar as well. as a giant, we've had to fight that one once or twice.
Yeah,
yes, and in the low level campaign, it's in the same world as yours. It's a different game system, but the same world as yours. I've made a deal with that storm giant, and he and I have been trading for alcohol and supplies.
Yeah, they're all actually together back here.
Though, with that said, being low level, I doubt I'm trading him anything that actually phases you guys, other than maybe the alcohol.
No, I doubt it. Yeah, we're as of right now, the party, his higher level game. I mean, here I am not stupid.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah,
that's nice.
See,
wow.
Hungar would get a kick out of that.
Hold on, put that back up there. I'm going to show the internet your perversions. Oh shit, wrong button.
This is weird. I don't want to be in the picture with this.
Oh my god. You know, that kind of looks like Master Roshi.
Just saying, it was funny. It was funny. And if I'm going to remember Hungar, in all his glory,
I'm sure you will.
That's how I'm going to remember him, like that, Or we've got some pictures of him throughout the years,
I put a picture of him on my website as a terrorist.
No, he was a little terror. He's a good guy, and
I haven't heard of him dying. Last I knew, he was just fine.
No, he's a great guy.
He is not dead.
No. And
I
insist that he makes it until well, I'll let him know when he can shuffle off the mortal coil. But until then, I expect him to keep on keeping on.
More or less, my daughter.
You see what Shadow really is saying is actually he wants Hungar to live long enough for him to be able to give him a drop of blood. It's not a vampire thing where he'll become immortal, but it'll add a few decades to his life.
So
would you guys want to see that?
We're turning Hungar
into
trade
positions or whatever. That would be so much better.
Careful what you wish for.
I'm very careful what I wish for, and I've
Shadow is a lich.
Don't worry.
So like a serpent.
Shadow is a lich.
Shadow is a lich. He produces game porn.
No lich.
Or he produces lich porn.
He's weird enough.
That gives a whole new meaning to the old Ozzy Osbourne song "No Bone" movie.
Well, by now Shadow's deleted it, so I don't have to worry too much about it. We were forced to do a Naughty November story with Justin. I say we because here's the thing: I decided not to join because I'm trying to get some gaming books done, and I can't work on a storybook and a game book at the same time. I'm trying, and it fails miserably. So I told him I'm out. Like, okay, whatever. The Raven jumps in my place, basically. Raven gets 4 weeks. No, 6 weeks to write a story. Just like, all right, we'll extend this a 7th week as long as Crafting Gamer jumps in. I within 1 week make an entire story. And she had 2 paragraphs.
Well, she's a busy lady.
Mm-hmm. So busy she can't even join us tonight.
I know. I sent you the link. I sent Janet the link too.
Yeah, so did I.
They're probably doing it. They're probably doing a stream together, laughing at us.
Well, I have been trying to get those two to connect.
Again, careful what you wish for.
Well, Janet wants to do a alien talk show type thing, where it's the Friday night shit. So what she does, but it's specifically talking about UFOs and conspiracies. That's when I told her about Raven, and she was like, "Oh, I'd love to meet Raven." And I've been trying to introduce her and Raven ever since.
I don't know what their what the holdup is, unless they're waiting for next October or something weird like that. But yeah,
busy
I've been
people.
trying to get Raven to make a channel of her own, and make some content and do the thing she does on the radio, but in living color, so to speak. And we'll see if that ever happens.
Never say never.
No, it's just oh, excuse me, folks. I've been trying to get her to do it for like a year and a half.
Fair enough.
And you know, they don't treat her very well on the radio behind the scenes, in my opinion. I could be wrong. And YouTube would just love her, and before she knows it, she's going to be getting fan mail and all that stuff.
I mean, we gotta be careful with that. You know what kind of fan mail poor Janet gets.
Oh yeah, well, Raven got a little taste of that this morning on Justin's show.
He was saying all kinds of things were in different languages.
Well, yeah, but there were also some things in English from another guy that were interesting. Not to repeat, but
And speaking,
is someone in the green room?
Yep, Raven. You said her name 3 times now.
That's all it takes.
They said, but it has to be natural. Every single time I've tried doing it inorganically, it's go Raven, Raven, Raven. It doesn't work. But if it happens in natural conversation, she just sort of appears.
Yeah.
I don't know how if this will last because I'm on my cell phone. I'm still trying to unload everything here from the Jeep. We've got a hold on, let me turn the radio down. We've got a massive front coming in, and they're talking 6 to 10 inches and ice before that. So I went ahead and went to the store, and the store is cleaned out of all the essentials.
Well, Raven.
Yeah, they've been talking about this cold front for about a week now.
Raven, thanks for joining us. And I must say, it's probably been a while since you've seen a good 6 to 7 inches.
Good evening. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I just, Shadow was implying, and I just had to put the tip on that conversation, one would say.
It was terrible.
I heard you guys. I heard you crafting. I heard you. I only wrote 2 paragraphs. So actually, it was 3, and it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. It was just a short story.
The end.
It was complete. The end. Yeah.
You ride the roller coaster. It hits the climax, and it goes back to the loading, and you get the fuck off. That's
falls asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy. I miss dating. Anyways,
yeah, you should really join us, Connell, for the writing challenge. You're not going to get anything done just talking about it. You got to do it. Break out the keyboard, Google Docs, whatever it is you want to work with, and even if it's crap is better than nothing.
Oh, it's going to be crap.
Unless it's all you got to eat.
The problem is I write in the first person.
So?
Well, that's a thing people do.
Yeah, well, my first story
that's perfectly fine.
What's wrong with that?
The first story I wrote that with this was entirely first person. Well, not entirely, but it did really well. And sometimes that's what it that'll kickstart it for you. You start out by writing as if you're the character, method acting, if you will, which you've been doing
what that means
as a role player, since
For
day
years.
one. And you just do that, the journal or the diary of X character or whatever, someone telling the story, one of your old characters telling the story, and that'll get you, loosen you up to where you can start, backing away from your main character to do third person narratives, things like that. And next thing you know, you'll be pumping out crap like Stephen King.
Yeah. Excellent example, Connell. I actually have the exact opposite. I do a little bit of first person, but it's primarily jumping through perspective and a third person gaze on things with a slight bit of narration. But I actually need to see about doing a first person story. I mean, part of the writing challenge is to not just write things. It's actually to get into different forms of writing. Like sometimes instead of writing challenge being specifically, oh, we're writing this genre, no, we need to write in this style.
No, and I get that. Like I started writing a couple years ago. I need to get back to it. I still have most of my notes because I'm very.
Don't even look at them. Don't even look at them. Start from scratch. Trust me. Whatever you wrote, I did the same thing. I refuse to do anything other than remember. Like one of the stories I did, and one of the stories I'm working on, and one of the stories I'm going to write are all from decades ago when I was trying this, and I'm like, I don't even want to see it because I know it's going to be, puerile bullshit, from way back, before you guys were born, and I don't even want to. If I find it, I won't even look at it. I'll just toss it in the bin when I do come across it, because it can't be.
Whoa! You would just toss away lamellar paper?
No, it was papaya or whatever it's
Papyrus?
called.
Papyrus.
Yeah, but either way, you would just throw that away. You can. There are ways to bleach it. Don't waste that really nice paper.
No, it was lined freaking mead notebooks. Yeah, it's going right in the dumpster.
There might have been mead involved, but it wasn't in the notebook.
The company mead or whatever.
Trust me, I know. No, I had this really weird idea, and it's letters between like soldier. It's a one-way letter. You never hear what his counterpart has to say. It's just a series of letters written to his love interest during a war time scenario.
There's actually been a few less stories like that. So yeah, that's
probably like countless, and you could probably at least as far back as the Civil War, get something like that easy, as opposed to paying like really good money for.
If you place it far enough in the future where they're like light years away from the company they're going to, you could do it futuristic too. It's still one-sided letter because you don't get mail back because they're too far out on the rim. You have to get mail in or out, but they can't get it back in.
Yeah. I don't know. I started writing, and the other aspect, it's more annoying than anything else, is like I write something, I'm like, God, this sounds like something I just watched like a year ago. What the hell?
Oh yeah. There's an excellent example of that more than just rewatching something that or repeating something you've seen. Isn't nobody here know the anime Wolf's Rain?
I know of it.
Well, the basic premise is the wolves follow a flower to find the promised land. I literally developed a story without ever seeing this. Wolves, two flowers were attacked by a demon. One defended its sibling by killing itself, and the flower shed a tear, creating the wolves. And the wolves got separated from the promised land, basically, and had to journey their way back. Sound vaguely familiar, at least?
Yeah.
No.
If you've seen the show, it does. Oh yeah. No.
Here's the thing, crafting. Here's the thing. If you write something today, right, and it was literally like a complete knockoff of something else.
Oh, it wouldn't be a complete knockoff, but it'd be enough. Anybody who's seen Wolf's Rain be like, oh yeah, he stole that from Wolf's Rain.
Right, but here's let me finish. By the time it goes through editing to publication, you could be looking at 5 years, and by then everybody will have forgotten about it.
Yeah,
or enough people will have forgotten about it that it could still be fresh, because it's not going to be word for word.
And
there's so many people that will have come up to the point where they can start reading stuff like that your audience may never have heard of the whatever you were inspired by. So very easily.
And there's no such thing as original fucking literature anymore. It's all a variation of something fucking else.
Well, it depends on what you mean. I mean, like the basic plot, things like that. Yes, but I mean, you're not going to get an 80% match.
No, that's true. No, I will give you.
You might get a 20 or even a 40% match, if it's simple enough. That you could go, okay, this is, almost identical to something else, but it's probably going to be, far enough away from you, far enough removed that no one could really say, well, he just plagiarized it. I mean, things, are invented simultaneously since the beginning of mankind all over the world, whether it's the wheel or a book or a story. There's always going to be that. And there's, the more of us there are, the more likely it is that it's not just two people doing it, but maybe a half a dozen or 100, reproducing somebody else's exact thing.
Yeah. Well, reproducing somebody's type of storyline is something I think we should do at some point as part of the challenge. Like, all right, let's do literally a Conan style game.
You mean like a fanfic, but just change it enough where you're not going to get sued?
Yeah, like Conan, for example.
Oh, I thought you meant like a specific author's writing style.
Well, it could be a specific author, or it could be a specific genre. Like it's the same. It's kind of the same basic premise, just two different practice points.
If that's the case, I'm going to use Nikolai Machiavelli and just tell people how to be dicks to each other.
I think the easiest for most of us would be Lovecraft.
Maybe if you've read enough of it.
Well, I mean, writing like him, not necessarily writing about his stuff, but writing like him.
Well, it also depends on what generation of what era you were born in. It's like me. I'll throw myself underneath this particular bus. It would be like me trying to write a variation of Harry Potter or Narnia or Lord of the Rings, which are still fairly modern, modern writing. Where with you, it would be, the 10 Commandments. But, I understand.
I literally meant
no, for him, you see, that's kind of cheating. Because that's religious text. His time was more like the Epic of Gilgamesh.
I could do that.
Yeah. Or Homer.
Right. Well, he's been around for all of it, so it's kind of.
Wait. Here's a story for Shadow. It's going to be a variation of the Odyssey. Only not trying to get home. He's trying to find the last honest to God game shop. And he has to go tour through America and all the American gods, which is also another really good book.
I would just start in Wisconsin and I one shop and I'd be done.
What, worship the statue of Thomas Jefferson you keep under the stairs?
No, that's just Wisconsin, Milwaukee area.
I was talking about the other part.
Oh, no.
He does have that. He probably has a shrine to Thomas Jefferson.
No, not a big fan.
Really?
He's not one of my favorite founding fathers.
Oh no, you don't want to get me started on Thomas Jefferson. It just you defend him so much. I expected you to be more of a fan.
No,
who is your favorite founding father?
I really don't know because
he doesn't know enough about them.
You in history, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like who do I believe? Where do I start? Can you show me a definitive, absolute, 100% verifiably provable literary source that's not been embellished?
Well, you got his own writing you can go back to.
Right.
You got his writing.
Yeah, but I forgot where I left it.
What?
I forgot where I left it. It's probably not even in North America.
What about you, Jack? Who's your favorite founding father, if you have one?
Alexander Hamilton.
That's fair. I can get behind that thought processing. I'm a fan of Big George. I think he was a little bit.
That's a respectable answer.
I think he was a little bit of a fruit, but other than that, I think he was a pretty cool guy.
Huh?
He still practiced very proper British manners, which was at that time, and I just find him to be fairly fruitish.
You see, when I hear someone calling someone fruity or fruitish, I think gay.
Well,
that's what we mean or like people in my generation mean when they say that. And I assume that's not what you're
really?
saying.
No, that's usually what we're saying.
Fruity in my generation
he
meant
was.
nuts.
I don't know. I'm not saying. Yes, Law Dog. I did call him Fruity. He
knows what I mean.
He wrote a
when
book.
I hear someone call someone fruity, it means they're acting a little
gay. He wrote a book. George Washington wrote a book on proper manners. And it's kind of fruity to me.
It's sure, fine.
George Washington had a UFO experience.
I love you, Raven.
And his aide, the little guy that, was like his secretary or whatever, on his deathbed, he had his secretary rip those pages out and burn them. And he insisted he burn them.
It was demonic influence and didn't want people taking it the wrong way.
George Washington was a Freemason. His religious beliefs are shaky.
Well, as the story goes, they were at the Potomac, where they were getting their asses kicked by the British. They were about to give up. A lot of the army didn't even have shoes. They were starving. And it was pretty bleak. It was a pretty bad try. They were just about ready to give up. And he went out to pray in the woods. And he had a visitation. And this alien opened up this piece of paper, and it had a map of what would become the United States. And it started to rain. And as the raindrops hit the map, he was shown where cities were going to be popping up all over the place. And they're like, you can't give up. And he didn't. And he came back renewed at his renewed sense of...
But why do you use UFO when it clearly that was an angel of the Lord?
Oh, yeah, but this nonsense.
The way that it was described, it would fit a gray alien more so than an angelic being. But it could have been. I don't know. I wasn't there.
The brother, I think it was the brother of Napoleon Bonaparte, fled to the United States and claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just a thing that he openly claimed.
So there
was this woman, I'm probably butchering the story, but a woman had a bunch of kids, and then she cursed the 13th kid because she didn't want to have any more kids. And then it came out and it's the devil.
And
now it exists in New Jersey.
The Pine Barrens, they're the most haunted woods in this country. And even the Indians would not go.
So it's not haunted at all, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Say what?
Sorry.
I said, so it's not haunted at all, is what you're saying.
No, don't knock that over. I got a cat that's just raising hell over here. Get down. Now the Pine Barrens have all kinds of phenomena. They have UFOs, strange lights in the sky all the time, clear back to the beginning of this country.
Campers.
For someone superstitious enough to claim that the United States is some divine political entity, you seem to deny the supernatural quite often.
Well, because I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, good point, Jackie.
It's like, I don't believe in aliens because they're just demons. Yeah. But also, demons can't exist in a forest for some reason. That's too far. A demon existing in a house for a long time, that is ridiculous. That is superstitious nonsense. There's no evidence. Until you shoot the demon and show it to me, I'm not going to believe it. But if I see something in the sky that's slightly different from the normal, and no, just the idea that life developed on another planet, there's billions and billions of planets that have the same makeup as our own that could potentially host a life form. That's ridiculous. That's satanic nonsense, actually. Believing that would actually disprove my whole religious basis for my worldview.
No,
so
it
has
doesn't.
To be a demon. There are no other life.
It does not disprove God at all. Aliens, actually, if anything, aliens prove God even further. It just proves that God experimented with his own image and other images. Aliens are, as far as I'm concerned, aliens are proof God exists.
So, using that argument, God is ego, the living planet.
No.
No.
I'm going to put it quite like that.
Not ego.
past 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's.
No, thank you, Jackie. I couldn't agree with you even. I couldn't agree with you more.
And which part?
The whole bit about the aliens, demons,
there are no aliens.
His messed up philosophy that just doesn't hold water.
I don't need it to hold water.
Just,
it's faith. It's not provable science. It's called faith. I don't see.
But it's not logical.
The God of the gaps mentality that you have is the exact.
Nor has any religion ever in that case. They've all been completely illogical. Yes. That's why they're called faith and not science.
That's why atheism is taking hold in certain aspects of society, because the God of the gaps mentality became so strong in religious circles that once those gaps were filled by natural explanations, people assumed that, oh, well, because there's a natural process for it, that means God didn't do it, which is the exact mentality you're feeding into with that kind of rhetoric, which is a extremely reductive way to look at religion and the world and God as a whole. So much so that I would call it borderline. I wouldn't say it's blasphemy, but it's close.
Somebody needs to be going to confession this coming week.
Yeah, that won't be me. It'll be him. Probably tomorrow, right?
Why? For pointing out the flaws and
no, for not honoring like Father.
Oh, please. Now he's going to throw that one up. Oh, God.
I'm going to use that one every chance I get. I've only got so
you
many.
Ever heard?
This would actually be a lack of honor and respect to allow you to continue in your blasphemy and heresy.
Preach, Jackie. Don't let these pagans shake your faith.
Jackie, he's what I would call a cafeterian Catholic. He goes up the buffet, takes what he wants, ignores the rest.
Yeah.
No,
he's a cafeteria Baptist, even worse.
Oh, the food's not even better unless it's the black church. Black Southern Baptist churches food is amazing.
Except for collard greens, those need to be left where they found
it's
them.
because
this shit looks like freaking swamp.
You have not eaten until you got a plate full of mustard greens, ribs, black-eyed beans, and
everything except the collard greens. You shove that shit right back in the swamp where you got it.
This guy doesn't like mangoes. How can you trust his take on anything culinary?
I don't, because your dad has multiple times has said he won't cook anything longer than the microwave takes to make it.
That's normally that is absolutely correct. On special
occasions, doesn't live by that, but that's a wild take.
No,
that's what he said. He said it multiple times.
No, I totally believe that he said that. It's not true. He's a hypocrite.
No,
but his favorite pastime is lying, anyways.
No, I will not stand. I will not stand for this hypocrisy on my channel.
I've said multiple times there are special occasions where I will cook, like Christmas Eve and New Year's Day.
You did ribs, right?
We had leftovers.
Oh my God!
Actually, that makes sense. Yeah. My family was over, and Hispanics typically celebrate Christmas Eve as the main thing, and Christmas Day is sort of how.
Other than the
Angloids view Christmas
having to watch out for the peppers, the spice. I love Mexican food. It is so damn well. Anything's better than Midwestern food. I'm sorry, but Midwestern.
They have food. I didn't know that.
I mean, only thing
this isn't me being like how funny racist against white people.
I love biscuits and gravy. What are you talking about?
That's Southern food.
Biscuits and gravy?
That's Southern food. Granted, though, if my dumbass ever decided to move to like Texas or California and buy a food truck, I know what I'd sell out there. Tenderloin sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be broke in a month.
No. No. Pork is king. I know as an American, I should say, all glory to the mighty cattle, to the mighty cow for steak, brisket, and stuff like that.
Oh no, I definitely prefer pork over beef 90% of the time.
I prefer poultry.
Chicken.
Really. I just needed the alliteration. Besides, when do you get an excuse to say the word poultry? That's just a good word.
That's just foul of you.
Yeah.
How?
Foul.
Oh, Okay, that's good. That's good. See, I respect that. I put the emphasis was very intentionally placed.
Now, here's a question: if you can only eat one protein, it being beef, pork, fowl, fish, because those are really our main proteins. Which one? But you can only pick one. Which one would you pick? I'll start with you, Shadow.
Bacon.
That's not so pig.
Yeah.
Well, bacon can be made out of cow. It can be
Shut
made
the
out
fuck
of
up. That
fish.
is not bacon. It might look like bacon,
Well,
but it's not bacon.
Well,
Bacon.
I feel like turkey bacon is kind of a bit of a travesty. I haven't had it, but I can
I don't
assume
care
it's
what
easy.
anybody says.
Disgusting.
A BLT, but made with salmon bacon, is divine.
See, I
Salmon
just assumed
bacon?
bacon was just
Salmon
like
bacon.
strips of gosh, of
Yeah.
like the
Bacon
the
is just a curing and a cut. It doesn't mean it's pork. It has to be pork. It's just the curing and the cut of meat.
Yeah. Do you really?
But I assumed a bird like a turkey or a chicken or something like with the texture of a fish wouldn't really do well for that. Like a cow or really like
Literally.
it
Well,
seems
no,
like a
literally.
mammal would be like it seems like the kind of meat product or meat derivative that would only come from a mammal. Like how do you get bacon from
It's
like
well, you get your bacon. It's normally the back fat, like pork, right? Back fat, and you cure it. Then you slice it up. It's just the curing in the cut of meat. That's all that bacon is. That's why you can have turkey bacon, pork bacon, beef bacon, salmon bacon, and so forth and so on. Yeah, pork belly. Thanks. But it's the process.
Okay, that makes sense. I assumed it was something to do with the process.
But when you hear bacon, if you're not thinking pork, there is something inherently wrong.
That is true. You know, I've always wanted to try an iguana. I wrote an entire paper about why we should eat more iguanas.
What?
They have a weird texture.
Oh, you've had one?
Yeah.
You've tried it?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ate rattlesnake.
There's not much I haven't tried. Just out of dumb curiosity. Lionfish, iguana, snake.
Bugs?
What?
Bugs?
Crickets.
Yes.
Worms.
Shrimp and lobster as well.
Oh, crickets is like popcorn. If you don't think about it, it has very much the popcorn concept to
That's
it.
probably don't.
No, I just have a moral boundary against eating bugs.
Yeah, they're not meant to eat them, and they are not.
I have no problems eating bugs up to the fact that they're so small. The only way to even get a mouthful is to eat their intestines and other internal organs. It's like, nope.
Well, do you eat shrimp?
Yes, and I remove the gut.
Well, shrimps are bugs. Lobster's just an overgrown
cockroach. Oh, shrimp aren't just bugs. They're the cockroaches of the sea, and they're delicious.
Lobsters are the cockroach of the sea.
Yes.
Well, they're tasty.
Shrimp
I had lobster.
I don't disagree with you.
Ants.
No, they're not like ants. I get what you mean, but
I don't know anybody for a fact. Like, I don't know anybody personally who, like I say for a fact, eat lobster, and I would not try lobster without somebody else, without being able to pawn it off on somebody because it is expensive.
Yeah, all that chitin is actually cancerous, so don't eat crickets.
I heard we were talking woo woo, so I came by to meet the woo woo.
Hey, how you doing there?
Well, I mean, as of now, we're talking about eating bugs.
Well, if we really want to go woo woo, I forgot what fish it is, but supposedly there's a fish that if you eat long enough, you grow gills. So I think that's some sort of, it's either an ancient myth or some bullshit I read online. I forgot which.
I'm gonna go with option B. No, we were talking about George Washington and his alien experience.
The aliens predicted the USA.
It's not me, dude. It's not me.
Surprisingly, that sounds like the kind of thing he would have come up with in his dreams.
No.
Like, oh my, well, he doesn't even believe in aliens, which is the weirdest thing. Unless I should do a southern accent. That's offensive. Unless I
tied to the hood of the car.
Shoot the alien. What?
Unless they tied to the hood of the car driving into town.
Yeah.
Shadow's
that.
scientific method. Kill it and put it to a hood of a car. Now I'll believe it exists.
But if it,
Well,
That
I
would
would
give-
gut it. I would gut it as well.
and
You know,
eat it, you'd eat the alien.
no, just
That
make sure
would,
it's not a person inside it.
If I could ever get the copyrights to Harry and Henderson's, that's how it's going to start. Harry just attached to the hood of a Volkswagen. So, any other founding fathers had alien experiences there, Raven? I'm mildly curious.
John Hancock could tell you some stories.
I believe that Benjamin Franklin believed in
What's up,
aliens,
Bo?
Yeah,
if I remember
he
correctly.
did. He did. I was just getting ready to say that. Hmm.
Benjamin Franklin did a lot of weird things.
Now, the
Like French women.
Benjamin Franklin unfortunately died of a few things that I think kind of rotted his brain too, because towards the end he did some weird shit.
What, syphilis?
Of course, it was syphilis.
Well,
Thomas
most of-
Jefferson has a UFO encounter on file. He was the first highest ranking American to actually put it in writing and leave it for the archives.
I don't trust a word that bastard ever said.
Who,
the one
Thomas
wrote-
Jefferson?
The one
Yeah.
who wrote the Constitution?
Yeah,
Declaration
the
of Independence.
Declaration of Independence.
That too. Right.
He was
Either
against
one.
the Constitution. He didn't want it. He thought it was too statist or whatever.
He did something very unusual, and he took the Bible
That joke.
and he kind of like did a cut and paste
Oh,
with the Bible,
the
several
Jefferson Bible,
Bibles.
yeah.
And there's the Jefferson Bible that every congressman is awarded when they are elected to office, and they all have one.
I'd burn it.
I'd be kind of curious.
Thomas Jefferson was an interesting individual. He very complicated man.
Isn't his last living descendant like some black civil rights activist or something?
Yeah, but he had a black girlfriend.
Well,
That's a
if
way
you
to put
want
it.
That, I was about to say, not exactly the way I'd put it, but sure, why not?
But did I say it wrong? Is I not being politically
Well-
correct or what?
No, it's incredibly. Is whitewash the right term? I feel like that term is usually used nowadays to refer to like racial things. That's not what I mean by that.
I know. I would say it's not inaccurate, but it's not accurate at the same time. He had black mistresses,
Yeah.
but
Well, he had a girlfriend that was half. That she was French. She lived in France. I don't know if she was French or not, but
He loved the French in every way,
no,
including their whole revolution thing. He was a big fan of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water. You want some?
No, actually, yes.
Figured. I'll be right back, folks.
I don't like Thomas Jefferson, and I'm holding back a rant about him.
why? Go ahead, rant.
No,
I won't be offended. Go ahead, rant.
it's not right. I'm too tired. But
Okay.
I'm not too tired. I want to. I don't know. No, I don't want to actually. I just
Why don't you like him?
I can.
he's
His
a commie.
decision, not only ignoring his personal flaws, like because I do consider him to be like a horrible person, like just as a human being.
Really?
He was horribly racist, and that the whole thing with better than Hamilton. Oh my gosh. Okay, Jefferson was even for the standards of his time, his views. Like I've read the things he wrote about African Americans. Like it's some of the most racist texts I've ever laid eyes upon. And
Compared to everybody
Yeah, I
else.
forgot which founding father it was, but one of them basically said that if the black people ever get their freedom, it'll be the end of the country because they'll have absolutely no idea what to do with it because they're nothing but retards.
He basically said like I forgot how my friend put it, but she summarized it pretty well. He was just going on about how like they can't write, they can't even think, they can't even draw. That was his whole rant that he wrote in response, I think, to a letter written by a black man. So, that kind of disproves his whole thesis anyways, but whatever. But even ignoring his personal flaws, he took the country in an incredibly, I don't want to say the word decentralized. He decentralized the country when it needed more strength. He put the focus entirely on Southern agrarian slaveholders and kind of pushed aside industrialization and Northern, more liberal interests. Liberal for the time, obviously, which probably set the country back decades. He was simultaneously incredibly liberal for the time in a radical, in a disgustingly Jacobin type way, and also incredibly conservative in a disgustingly racist way, just combining the worst elements of both.
This is going to be an odd thing to say, but the more I hear Jackie talk, the more I think he'd be a blue control player in Magic. You're not allowed to do anything. Counterspell. Unsummon your creature and crap like that.
Well, I'm going to mess up his name because it's me. But, the author of Three Musketeers, if Thomas Jefferson was still alive, would have just blown his wig off.
I mean, even if we're ignoring the whole racism thing, you can early America needed a stronger government, a more religious government, and a more centralized authority to guide it in a unified direction, and which would have prevented the whole states' rights issue, which still exists today. And
because those states should not have rights.
That's not what the Constitution even remotely said. But
I'm just messing with you, Jack.
I know. I know it's been 200 years, but I'm still butthurt that the Federalists ended up losing out to the early Republicans, Democratic Republicans, whatever.
Fair enough. Sure you don't want to hop in here, Bo? I got space for one more person.
I'm listening to all this stuff, and I'm just like, I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
We were talking about Canadians earlier.
Were we? Oh, yeah. Shadwell was going on about how it would be funny if the U.S. annexed Canada or something.
And my response is most of the Canadians I know don't want anything to do with us. So yeah, it would be real fun. It'd be a real fun time for everybody. But
the only good thing that would come out of it would be a real life Fallout reference.
But I am holding my breath for, annexing Cuba.
Well, anything's better than whatever they have now.
I think the Castro brothers are dead.
Is Castro's brother dead?
I think so. All right, Law Dog. Churchill. Hey. We don't make fun of Churchill on this channel.
We'll find them in the air. We'll find them in the ocean. We'll find them on the land. Victory! My cigar pistol slipped down my throat and I'm choking.
You don't have to bring up Jefferson's moral flaws to acknowledge that his leadership led the country in a direction that's caused the majority of the problems that exist today. Like everything can be traced back to his weird form of liberalization.
So what do you think of JFK?
JFK?
Womanizer, alcoholic.
Well, I do think, admittedly, he's probably, just like every leader who's ever been assassinated, viewed way better than he realistically should be. Like, he wasn't a bad president. He was perfectly fine. probably a bit overhyped. Probably not the best person, but who cares about that? He kept us on the gold standard for a bit more, I guess.
Bo, or I'm serious, man. I sent you the link, or I think I sent you the link. You're more than welcome to jump in and have a conversation with our dear Jack. Canadian politics, so I've never really got my head around.
The Creature from Jekyll Island. What's that?
That's the book about the foundation of the Federal Reserve. The secret meeting they had on Jekyll Island. Hey, turn in your woo-woo card.
We should talk more about that stuff.
Well, it's been a while since I've heard Jack go off on anything that, it's
Matters.
been forever since I've referred to you as Fox and Friends.
Yeah. I mean, I'm slightly less politically minded than I used to be. Well, no, I haven't changed in my outlook. It's just the directions have switched, I suppose. I don't know, if you want me to rant about how moths are an underrated group of insects, then, gosh, that'd be fun.
I'm sure you're giving Bear new ideas for his next book that he's going to write out the inside of a teenager's mind.
I've been told that I'm a really bad example to use.
Yeah, I don't write horror.
It would be fantasy. Well, if he was a normal teenager.
Pure horror.
So, with Jackie's brain, it would be alternative history.
Alternate history horror.
Pretty much.
What was that book? God, I read it years ago. The Man from High Castle.
Yeah, that's Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that book there, Jack?
Sorry, what book?
The Man from High Castle.
I've heard of it.
It's worth a read.
I haven't read it.
It's definitely worth a read. It has Nazis, the multiverse. It's an
the thing
interesting
that
read.
I've heard about it, or not heard, I watched a pretty in-depth synopsis of it, or a review of it. The scenario in it's the purpose of the book isn't the scenario, and the scenario is usually what interests me the most. Like America being divided between Japan and Germany in a similar way Germany itself was by America and Russia could never have happened. It's an interesting setting for a dystopia. But that's not really the focal point.
No, fair enough.
I'm not a big fan of multiverse stuff anyways. I used to be, but it doesn't interest me.
Marvel killed it for you as well?
What?
Marvel killed it for you as well?
No, I wish that's what killed it for me. AUs. Gosh.
Actually, who did the multiverse first, DC or Marvel?
DC.
Yeah, I was thinking DC.
That sounds about right.
Flash of Two Worlds, written by Gardner Fox.
That was a great cover.
Yes, the two Flashes running along a brick wall with one guy going, ah.
Yeah.
That is a classic, sir.
I've got to switch over to my tablet. My phone is going to die. I just noticed it's at 2%. I'll be right back.
Well, we'll never see her again, but it was nice seeing
No,
her.
no, I got this thing. Have a little faith. Have a little faith.
The aliens are going to get her.
No,
no.
It's
So
not
hang on.
aliens. It's not aliens, there, Jack. It's demons.
Of
course. Oh yeah, aliens don't exist unless I shoot one and strap it to the hood of my car.
How am I going to know? Who am I
Which
supposed
she
to believe?
doesn't own and can't drive.
I'm not going to repeat what something was said by by a person here, but his variation of being attached to the hood of my car still makes me giggle from time to time. What else would you, Chad? What else would you like to attach to the hood of your car? Any other creatures, gods?
There's a few,
Naked blue men.
there's a few politicians.
Hey! Don't get me canceled from YouTube.
Just saying.
You want Smurfs? You want that would be a whole bunch of
He's
Smurfs.
talking Dr. Manhattan.
There was a Blue Man Group.
No, he's
I
into
think there's
Smurfs.
still a thing in Vegas.
Like really into Smurfs is weird. No,
Wow,
it's
she
not
pulled it off. I'm shocked.
Smurf was kind of a
Told
thing.
you I'm getting better at this. Oh,
Now
you
we
little fake.
Now we just need Janet, showing up green in a corset. Jesus.
Gosh.
Your show. Last time I was on your show when for New Year's Eve. I got all signed off, but I was kind of still watching it, listening to it in the background. And when she showed up, my response was "fuck."
Listen, one thing that my friends are often commenting on, or people that know me, they're like, "Why do so many beautiful women love hanging out with you?" And I just say the same thing every time. It's called charisma, and I leave it at that. If men could learn to stop going, "Oh, fuck," when a woman looks good, and just be like, "Damn, girl, you look good," and then move on and not be staring at her tits, it's amazing how much they feel comfortable and safe around you, as opposed to like fucking deer during hunting season. Men need to learn to control this shit.
I've learned the hard way. The moment a woman feels comfortable around you, you are not good for dating. You are too comfortable to be around.
And that's why you fail. I didn't say comfortable. I said safe.
Well, I sent the link. I just put the link in chat for nerds, and she can also help you out, Crafty Gamer, on the. Well, probably not.
Connell, what's going on in your head right now at this moment in time?
I will say this, Kyle. I'm pretty sure Nerds can give me better dating advice than you can.
Than me or Connell?
Connell.
Okay, cool.
I had a fairly healthy dating life there for a long time there, Bubba. And I just kind of gave up on the race after my marriage fell through. Yeah. God. That's a sad thought. Anyways. So George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Who else had an alien encounter of the weird kind?
Betty and Barney Hill.
He's talking presidents.
Well, not a president.
Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, it was.
I heard that
Ronald Reagan had one too.
And
He had
supposedly
one.
Eisenhower
Force
met
One.
with aliens. If you believe that horse shit.
You used to. Oh my gosh.
who was
Hypocrite.
it? Was
Right
it? Yeah,
Oh,
it
I'm
was.
not- I'm allowed
I
to
can't
change
think of
my
the
viewpoint.
actor's name, but he
I
was
can
in
accept the same old viewpoint.
Honeymoon.
I
Honeymoon.
can't-
No, but you're not allowed to go from being close to right to wrong. That's worse. You're not allowed to be wrong and then go around
You haven't
parading
seen
how
nothing
right
yet. Wait
you
till I
are.
quit smoking. You're in for the roller coaster of your life.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to pick up the slack. Huh.
Yeah, you absolutely are.
Then the question if your dad's bipolar will finally be answered.
No.
Yeah, something. Everyone in this family does.
Jack Gleason, is that his name?
Jackie Gleason?
Jackie Gleason, yeah. Jackie Gleason was showed a UFO by
Nixon.
Nixon.
Yes.
Supposedly.
Well, UFO just means unidentified flying object. And given the cameras have only recently gotten really, really good.
According to the
There's
story,
plenty of UFOs throughout history.
According to the story,
Supposedly
Nixon
took him to the
actually
hangar where they had recovered
he showed him a
from
freaking great
Roswell, New
alien
Mexico.
in a Coca-Cola freezer, the whole bit.
Yeah, and
Oh.
For the love of
body,
God,
body.
nerd, please click on the link and get in here. I'm not fucking numbered by the woo-woo convention.
She won't help any. She has aliens in her freezer too. I mean, she's on the freaking moon.
Yeah, exactly.
In the back room, let her in.
Oh, I didn't see her.
She's here.
Hey, nerds, long time no see.
Hey, nerds.
Hey, how we doing?
Good.
Weird.
Happy New Year to you.
So, thank you. Back at you. All the celebrations. And as an alien, let me assure you that aliens are not real and we have not visited this planet.
Aha.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, the real question is how far has their attempts to dominate us gone?
It's gone completely haywire.
And you looked around.
We aren't controlled by anything.
I don't know. Who's, I know.
The greatest way to control someone is to convince them that they're free.
Real.
Yeah. Freedom. No, my favorite argument when it comes to aliens is we are a great big zoo. They go to the very closest they can go without being spotted by us, and they make fun of us talking monkeys like the idiots that we are. We are a great
In all
big
the great
zoo.
cosmos of the galaxy, do you really think we're that uniquely interesting?
How stupid how stupid the human species can be.
I'd say we're the Jerry Springer show of the universe. Yeah.
Can I jump in here for a fucking second?
Please do.
Please do.
I'm fully on team fucking human, and I love how people love to say how stupid we are. Oh, when aliens drive by, they roll up the windows, because there's a bad neighborhood, and the Jerry Springer thing, and all. Yeah, we've also created marvels of technology, social engineering, the American Constitution, and the concept of America and the freedom that it gave to everyone, as opposed to 10,000 years of hierarchies before that came before. We've gone to space. We have telecommunications. We cure diseases that 100 years ago wiped out entire communities. But no. We're a bunch of fucking dumbasses sniffing our own farts on this planet, aren't we? Get
part of
the
that's
fucking
true,
human suck shit and accept that is just you internalizing your own self-loathing, and get on team fucking human and see how far we can go if we all work together. Thank you.
One of my favorite.
We are space
online-
orcs.
Well
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
Bear.
Humans based.
That is one of the best stories about humans
See,
in
this person's
space.
technically on it.
Humans are space orcs.
We are not fucking space orcs.
So not orcs
How do
in
you
the we
how do you
suck.
hate yourselves
Orcs-
this much and still get up
Orcs
every day?
in that we're awesome. It's how durable and resilient we are as a species, that we can survive so much, that we adapt, that we heal, that we keep going. That's the point
that's
of
a
space
trope of
orcs.
sci-fi. That's a trope of sci-fi, right? That humans, that's the one trait you'll always, you pick up a sci-fi game. Oh, Vulcans do this, and Andorians do that, and Twi'leks do this, but humans, they're adaptable. That's always the fallback on humans.
Yeah, but we're talking to the extreme, like humans in. I think it's supposed to be like the humans are supposed to be on like a class 7 death world. Even our atmosphere is considered deadly toxic to most aliens.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to AI bullshit YouTube videos about how they found out they shouldn't have fucked with the humans. Like there's like
I've seen
thousands
so many of those
fucking
videos,
things.
or at least the thumbnails, because I don't watch that dribble. But yeah,
Here's
How
my
many
thought
other
process.
species won the war against the xenomorphs?
Wow, nerds.
Well, here's my.
You're on one track these days.
They go with.
We even fucking captured a gray at Area 51. We're unstoppable.
My response to Bear's comment is yes, I agree. But here's my thought processing for what it's worth. The individual is brilliant, creative. It's the masses that I worry about.
well, if that was
The
was
Men
a
in Black
thing,
quote.
if that
No,
was a thing, then the aliens would be no better, because it's just whenever you group large groups of any intelligent species, then they all just lose their freaking minds.
No, you see, the real issue here is that I think everyone just needs to recognize is what we're all kind of thinking. People I agree with in group, good, and I support them. People I disagree with in group have dumb monkey opinions.
Exactly. Personal bias is really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's as bad as confirmation bias. What do you want? It's 2 a.m. I'm writing and waxing philosophical.
Happy New Year's. I got nothing.
I should be in bed. I really wanted to stop staying up this late, but since I've only got till Monday on vacation, I'm going to just maximize my late night hours.
Yeah, never sleep on vacation. That's how they get you.
Better to burn out than fade away.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, a star that burns twice as bright burns half as long. And you, Roy, have burned so very bright.
Monday, I have to start looking for a new place of employment, so it should be interesting.
I know that line Bear just said. I've heard it somewhere, but I can't.
Blade
place
Runner.
It. Okay. Well, that means I've seen that movie. I thought I had never seen it.
Blade
I must
Runner?
have seen it at least once.
That's the one about. That's the one about the guy trying to smuggle knives into Africa, right?
Yes, the marathonist trying to smuggle knives into Africa by doing the transcontinental African marathon.
Nerds, you're one of my favorite AI mods, you know?
3,000 miles, 14 knives.
Almost in their favorite.
You're definitely one of my favorite AI mods. Yeah, so no, like I said, Monday I gotta start looking for work.
What happened?
Differences of opinion.
What was the difference of opinion?
I wasn't of the type of I'm trying to find the nice way to put it.
Why don't you just say what they said instead?
Politics got brought up. I said I didn't vote for the angry orange man, and they fired me. And
That sounds like a hell of a wrongful dismissal suit on your hands.
Well, Illinois has got some really weird laws.
Wrongful dismissal in the U.S. is a weird. There's nothing.
Well, that's insane.
They can fire you for literally any reason at any time unless you can prove it's because you are a protected status.
Well, Connell's retarded. Doesn't that give him protected status?
Not retarded. My name's not Justin.
No, but you are Irish.
Hey.
Hey.
Seriously.
I don't think people care anymore.
Except for the people here who just agreed with that.
Well, yeah, but I mean in the law.
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah.
Ever since they stopped coming over in boats, I stopped hating them.
Congratulations, America, for no longer legally discriminating against the Irish.
Finally.
I have this. I don't have it up. It's packed away, but I have the old sign, if Irish do not apply.
Wait, what did you say?
If Irish.
No, I know that. What was you had? What?
I have a sign that says that.
Like a recreation or something.
What?
Or like an actual from, like they hung it up to keep Irish.
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting thing to own.
Early 19th, when the Irish were coming over here in masses. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I know all about that. I just I didn't catch that you had like a sign that old from that time.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of weird. My collection of shit.
What's a cool thing to have?
I have a coffee mug that's local to my area. It says Peking Chinks, because the mascot of the high school was the Chinks, and I'm not talking about armor. And it's two little Asian people with hats on with a paper dragon behind them. I wish I was making this up. Welcome to Pekin, Illinois, in all its glories.
Oh, nice.
It's the racism that makes your potatoes so good.
Yeah. It makes the meth so perfect.
Illinois. Come for the Illinois. Stay for the racism.
Peoria is actually incredibly not well. Last burning cross we had in this area was here in Pekin, and that was in the 90s.
Oh,
Illinois.
really?
Less corn than Indiana, more racism. What?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm from Indiana.
Who's from
What
Indiana?
part?
Me.
That explains a lot.
What part of Indiana?
I was born in Indianapolis.
Oh, that's fair.
And I grew up in Peru.
My my kids, when they stayed with their dad, when they stayed with their dad, they lived in Poseyville, Indiana.
Hmm.
It's right
Where's that?
outside of Evansville.
Oh, okay, down south. Right. Okay. I grew up 70 miles north of Indianapolis, right straight up 31.
Okay. There's a couple conventions they have in Indianapolis that are actually worth going to.
You know where Kokomo is? Where
Yes,
they
I do.
invented the automobile?
Yes, I do.
About 15 minutes further up the road, and that's Peru. Peru's very, very small town. It can't even get a Walmart. That's how pathetic it is. But
Well,
back in
that's
the
a
day,
good thing. I think less towns should have Walmarts.
back in the day, the Barnum and Bailey Circus used to winter their animals there.
I think we should go back to the Ma and Pa stores, not these.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there. I was just using that as an example because everywhere has a Walmart, it seems, except
Yeah.
you can't get one. They don't have many mom and pop. So it's churches and pizza places and bars.
There was a town close to me that had one of the best fabric stores in this area. Then a Walmart moved in, took them out of business. Then they stopped selling fabric.
Yeah, figures.
So
yeah.
Yep. Not saying all Walmarts don't sell fabric; it's just that one doesn't.
Yeah, other than the like the supermart Walmarts, I've never been into a Walmart that didn't have a fabric section near their craft section.
I don't know. So everybody else more or less answered that is American. Nerds, who's your favorite who's your favorite founding father, if you have one? And did he believe in aliens?
I would have to go with Trotsky. And I don't believe so.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't remember that name on the list in school.
Yeah,
no.
You're just saying what they found in.
Oh.
Touche.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, coming from the moon, that literally would cover the whole planet. You have to.
This just in, Shadow referring to a joke that we all stopped making about 8 months ago. Film at 11.
Nice.
And this is
So I don't know if I have a favorite founding father.
wow. Do you have
I
a
feel
favorite?
like even by defining them as the founding fathers, we are saying that the single act of their collective was greater than the individual act of any one of them. And we're also kind of ignoring a lot of their individual histories, right?
True. That's fair.
Was
But
Samuel
they all
Adams
deserve an amount of respect because they literally put their life on the line. That was treason
Thomas Jefferson.
in the eyes of the English. Signing the Declaration of Independence took some guts.
Was Samuel Adams a founding father?
No, but John Adams was.
So who the fuck was Samuel Adams?
Sam was his son.
He's the beer.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he made a beer, so that would be my favorite.
I mean, yeah, we'll go with that.
That's a base answer.
John Hancock, because he actually took his name seriously.
I was wondering if it was.
I like Jefferson because of the Bible he made.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier.
Expecting an explosion.
Yeah, that's actually not even the whole reason why I dislike him. He could have not done that, and I still wouldn't have liked his policies.
I like his chair he made.
What he made?
A chair, the rotating chair. It spins. He's the one who created the spinning chair.
Who?
Thomas Jefferson.
I didn't know that. Wow.
He wanted to be able to see all his slaves.
As he's playing the violin. Wow. That's fair. Do you have a president that you like, nerd? Just out of the list of...
I assume you're meaning United States.
Yeah,
president.
United States.
throughout all of U.S. history, what are my favorite presidents? That's the question.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
I might have to think on that one. And my answer might be obnoxiously nuanced, if I'm being honest.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm a William Henry Harrison fan.
Huh.
I like Taft.
Taft is cool, but Harrison died 31 days after being inaugurated from pneumonia.
Because
Yeah.
The least damage of any president.
Right. I mean, I could say JFK. I enjoy, I just enjoy him as a person.
Is that because he's Irish Catholic?
And your point is what?
No, it's just
Isn't that reason enough?
No, like I get that. I have most of my like for JFK comes from that whole Catholic nepotism thing. I get it. The genuine question, not a criticism or anything.
I like Grant, but Grant, when his time in office, was considered the most corrupt.
I like Grant, but yeah, he wasn't a particularly good politician.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, I liked Teddy Roosevelt as a person, but he wouldn't be my first pick as president.
Roosevelt was a badass.
Roosevelt, yeah, getting shot.
He was a really cool fucking dude.
Yeah, getting shot in the chest, then going to do a 40-minute speech.
It'll take more than a bullet to kill a bull moose.
He was a badass. He gave up his saber for a second broom handle Mauser.
And
Pretty
there
smart
it is.
too.
It's all about guns with you, isn't it?
Isn't everything?
Well, if it doesn't shoot something, Shadow doesn't like it.
Well, that's why he makes the kind of films that apparently he makes. Lots of shooting.
You just, oh man.
For those who don't know, look on
Those
other
who
channels
don't
for
know.
Chadwell's
Dude.
production.
There are people in Alpha Centauri that know by now. Come on.
So you admit there are aliens. Oh,
So yeah, I was just gonna say.
That's how ludicrous the statement is.
sure.
Yeah,
We
it's
think she
just
does
true.
protest too much.
Well, everybody here that has a YouTube
And
show.
that's never gonna stop.
Wait. Everybody that's in this panel that has a show, please raise your hand if you had somebody show up and crank it on your channel.
Do I count as if it was me who was the one cranking it?
Sure, why not?
Just
So
the
So I
hammer.
have bad news for everyone on this show.
Here
What?
it goes.
So the bad news for everyone here is you can't tell what I'm doing with my other hand.
I don't think that's technically cranking it. Just saying.
Flicking the bean counts, sir.
All right. If that's where we're going, that's where we're going.
Tired of your sexist shit, Shadow.
I would like to retract my previous statement.
Too late. It's in the ether now.
You heard it here first.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. This just in. Ned flicks the bean while VTubing.
Awkward.
Yeah. Oh my God.
For the
That's
record, as the guy Jackie
all the
was here
shit
for a
that's been said
second.
in these chats. That's the
Oh.
awkward part.
No, it's just followed by the silence. It said
Well,
more than I
because
could.
everyone was so impressed by my mid-Atlantic accent, they had to just take a
That's
moment
what
to
it was,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
It's a very good Atlantic accent.
Murder, what'd you say?
Huh?
All I heard was, what the fuck? Well, who's
I
talking?
was
No.
acknowledging the quality of the accent.
But he was doing it as the Swedish chef.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. You're an awesome dude.
Oh,
You're number one. You're number one.
Why did I deserve that?
so Jack, do you have any goals for this coming year? Other than make your dad believe in aliens?
That's
Never
the
gonna
goal.
happen.
Other than maybe you see, I'm debating the ethics of the whole insect collection thing.
Right.
That's a thing I might consider doing. It seems fun.
Having dating a life or collecting insects?
Good answer, Bear.
You know,
Because I'm telling you right now, nothing. And Raven and Nersnard, back me up on this one, please. Nothing gets the ladies more riled up than a killing jar. Oof. Oof.
you know what?
Killing jar.
Oh yeah,
That's part of your insect collecting, by the way, is you have to kill them.
I know that's the whole thing I don't want to do.
Well, then don't collect insects. It's pretty
Unless they're
straightforward.
flies or something.
Like I said, I will disavow any knowledge of said collection.
You know, someone, one of my friends brought me a dead bee once. Not like brought me, but like brought it to the classroom. That was fun.
I got attacked by a dead bee once.
How?
How?
I stepped on it, but it still had its stinger, and it like stuck in my foot. And I had to like swat it off, and I was freaking out because I was like maybe 12 or 13 at the time, and there's this like zombie bee stuck in the bottom of my foot.
Oh,
Is that how you got your superpowers?
That's how it started. That's the day. Ever since then, I have all the amazing powers of a dead bee.
I stepped
She
on one
fights crime
barefoot
by
and
lying
stung
on
me
her
right in
back
the middle.
with a spike sticking
Painful.
up.
You know,
I
think
always
I've
thought
seen that
nerds
video.
summoned a giant dinosaur to eat the bad guys.
I don't not do that.
Her superpower is a 3D
I-
print tanks, and they come, you know, and she uses that to take out crime.
Oh, so she's the toy maker.
If it wasn't already copyrighted, I would say Tank Girl. Bear's like, I'm just going to strangle all of you bastards,
No. No.
or just me.
I'm just going to hold your heads under the water until the kicking stops.
What if they don't ever start kicking?
Then I've found an Atlantean. Get the extra large killing jar.
One of the powers of a dead bee is that you can't drown it.
Gee, I've been foiled in my attempts, so I guess I'll just have to stab you in the front and watch the light go out of your eyes.
It doesn't kill a dead bee.
I'm not having this conversation. I'm going to stay over here in the land of rational thought. You enjoy Woo Woo Land. Raven, Woo Woo Land. Get in there.
So,
So if you're a zombie bee now, would that make your superhero name Zombie?
Oh, Jesus Christ, it hurts.
I'm out.
Don't acknowledge it. Someone
Time
else
out.
has to say something.
I'm sorry, I was daydreaming. What just happened?
I would have to show you on the bear where the touched me on the naughty place.
Wait, what did I miss?
One of the absolute worst jokes ever to be made.
Just getting rid of that. You had to ask.
What just happened? I thought I was paying attention. I'm so genuinely confused. What?
Bad pun.
Very
Well,
bad. Not that they're good puns, but it was a really extra bad pun.
I got that. But what made it? It was bad. But was it?
Yes, it was.
Is there a
literally that-
reason why it was
just-
that bad?
It was just that bad.
Yes.
But like, it was bad. I'm not denying that. But I feel like there's something I'm missing.
Okay. Okay. If you really want to know, Jackie, nerds are going on with the zombie bee thing. So I said, if you're a zombie bee now, does that make?
Thank you.
There was no reason for a sequel to that.
No one asked for a
I don't
sequel.
think
It's
I
like,
wanna
that was the
know.
Highlander 2 of jokes.
Ah,
Yikes!
now I got the Queen song running through my head. Son of a bitch.
Sorry
I
to
see
hear
it's
that.
beans. Is that a beans?
That's
Bear-
beans.
Yeah.
Hi, beans.
I mean, I believe
That's
both your cats
beans.
are.
And then in his favorite spot in the world, there's a Misty.
Gotcha. I was under the impression that both your cats were black, so I was taking a 50-50 shot there.
This one's not blocking out the entire screen, so it can't be misty.
Gotcha. Oh man, I really need to start drinking.
I was just thinking I need to swap to water.
Oh, hey, Raven. Sunday night, Cody and I are doing the second episode of this UFO show that he wants to keep doing, and I'm into it. Not another paranormal podcast? And we're going to be doing Betty and Barney Hill.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be fun because you got to sift through a lot of bullshit on that one just to get to the facts.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the most credible stories, though. Credible, not story. I shouldn't say story, but actual
it was
encounter.
actually all demons, and any
And
talk
there's
of it
physical
is subversive,
evidence,
whatever, right?
The encounter. I wonder if they ever gave her dress back to her.
See, I love watching shows like that, but honestly, I have nothing to fucking add. I mean, I think it's interesting.
Oh, I want to know what Raven thinks about all the New Jersey lights and drones and stuff.
Oh, this has been interesting. I've been keeping up with that.
Okay,
hang on, Raven. Hold that thought for a second. Shadow has an important announcement.
Just a quick question, Bear. Have you guys watched Interrupted Journey or read the book with James Earl Jones?
No, I have not. No.
You, if you can, I highly recommend you check it out before you do that episode.
Yeah. I don't have time to read an entire novel between now and Sunday night.
There is the movie. With James Earl Jones.
You know damn well movies exaggerate and change things for dramatic effect.
No, it's James Earl Jones's performance is one of his best.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'll watch it at some point, but I'm just going to use regular old research on this one and just get the facts. All right, sorry, Raven. Drones, go.
There's two different. They're calling the orbs. Sometimes they'll kind of group that in with the drones, and there's two separate things there going on there.
Okay, but what are they?
But
which one's orbs, the Anunnaki?
I'm not sure who they are, but the most rational explanation I've heard so far is that they are plasma balls. But plasma can have consciousness. There's a Russian scientist that proved that.
I will.
I'm still getting. I'm going to do probably my show on it Wednesday. I'm still gathering information on that and what that Russian scientist's name was. But he created this plasma.
They have proven that, Raven. They have proven that funguses can act as if they have consciences. Plants can act as if they have the ability to think,
plants
just
do.
by acting within their environment.
Yeah, plants do. Clive Baxter proved that.
Well,
that was a bunch of bullshit that could not be replicated under any other circumstances.
Sure can be replicated, yeah. Yep,
no one has
Clive
been able to replicate them under provable circumstances. Everyone says, "Oh, I replicated it," but have they been able to prove it? Not under circumstances that are considered scientific.
The Secret Life of Plants.
Yeah, but they were. I know that study. They were not truly scientific. They were just a bunch of guys going, "Oh yeah, we did this, and look how we did it." Did they do it in a controlled environment? No. Did they do it in a completely sterile environment? No. And even when MythBusters did it in a non-sterile environment, they could not duplicate his results to save their fucking lives.
Real? Since when did you need like a recording or any sort of evidence to back up a claim?
Okay, that's fair.
That's the real woo-woo. Proof? Gosh.
Y'all see this? Y'all know what this is from?
No.
Yes.
Nice knowing you, Connell.
I'm real close, man. I'm real close. Game over, man. Game over.
Raven, have you seen the latest Sean Ryan video about the drones? Yeah, check it out when you get a chance.
One yesterday was on the guy that was a remote viewer. Is this today's?
No, it's the one that ties in with the Tesla bombing at the Trump Tower in Vegas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, that is absolutely horrible. But I have to say, I might have to take a second look at those Tesla trucks because damn, those things are sturdy.
The there's a channeler, Bashar. He's been around for a really long time. Daryl Anka is the human that channels Bashar. He came out with a video the other day saying that these orb-like entities are actually an ET. It's a life form. Whether it's plasma or not, I don't know. But this is what he said: that they are running some type of surveillance to keep some nefarious entities from causing harm and wreaking havoc on the planet. And I thought,
we really don't
that
need
just
any
sounds
help.
like more fear porn to me. I don't know.
Yeah, we really don't need any help.
Yeah.
Can't they just be some guy in a van with a shitload of money
Down by the river?
Down by the river with a shitload of money, has nothing better to do because he hasn't been on date in the last 30 years, decided that he wanted to buy a bunch of drones and a mother drone that's as big as a fucking car and just have some fun, or a group of people.
Well, these orb things, I have video footage of these same orbs from 2 years ago that I filmed right here in my yard, doing the same kind of undulating and doing changing color and morphing and splitting and doing this and strobing and doing that. So I've seen these things before. They're not anything new. And there's photographs of these things going back.
Yeah, nothing screams surveillance like flashing lights.
Yeah, even I have to admit I've had my own orb experience. In the middle of the night, one night, I noticed a light off in the distance from my window because it's the middle of summer, so I had my window open. I went out to look at it. A light was just barely above the horizon. I mean, not barely, just barely above the tree line. And then it shot straight up, I'd say about 50, 60 foot above the tree line, went flying above my house without making a single sound.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to say orb, but I am going to say, what the fuck was that? And all I seen was an orange or round light.
I personally think
if that was a drone or some sort of helicopter, dear God, it was quiet.
I don't think it's man-made at all. No. And you find that, like in the paranormal circles, when they're in a haunted house, there's a difference between orbs and insects, and you can tell the difference. I know some people, Shadow, like to say that they're all just dust and bugs, but it's not. Spirit energy also travels
sometimes
in
they're
a
counter
circle.
malfunctions or tricks of the light.
Anyway,
are spirits physical entities?
No, I mean they.
Then why do they bounce light?
Well, orbs don't bounce light. The light comes from within. A true spirit manifestation of an orb, the light comes from within. It's not reflecting out or having light reflected off of it. No, it's lit from within. That's one of the ways you can tell the difference between that and an insect or a piece of dust. These orbs, who knows what they are, really? I mean, there was a time in, I'm going to say 2016, no, probably about 2013 to 2016 in there, where people were getting all kinds of orbs in their photographs. And then with the popularity of the paranormal shows that were on TV, you know, everybody was quick to jump and say, "Oh, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. Everything's a ghost. Oh my God, look at this picture. There was a ghost in the background." When you see one of those orb things, well, they've been mistaken one for the other. But there is such a thing as spirit energy. It is an
What
orb
wavelength is spirit energy on?
Hmm?
Do we know what wavelength spirit energy exists on?
Which hurts? You mean like? I don't know. Personally, I don't know. But that's a good question. I'm sure they do. They have to be of certain.
Anytime I hear someone use the word energy, I have to ask, what type of energy? How is it measured, right? Because just using it as a nebulous term is a little bit kind of inherently dishonest. You're just calling it woo-woo. But if you can define what the energy is, now it's measurable, it's quantifiable, now we're talking about facts.
It would be electromagnetic energy. Ooh, that was a bad throw. Electromagnetic energy.
What was that, Jack?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you said something there, Haas.
He asked if that's what ley lines have. Yeah, nerds, you're muted. I don't know if you know that.
The ley lines is that there again is electromagnetic energy. It's the path that they travel, and they call them ley lines. So where you have a convergence of ley lines, it's like the veins that carry the blood throughout the body. Okay, this is where how energy travels around the planet, are these ley lines. And when you have a convergence of them, oh my God, got a cat fight here. Where you've got a convergence of those is where you will find your sacred sites across the planet. The biggest one, of course, being where Giza Plateau, where the pyramids are. Stonehenge has a convergence. They have some of them have names like the St. Michael's line, or and it goes from England all the way through one of the what's that big cathedral in France?
Notre Dame?
It goes at a diagonal. It doesn't go straight up and down like from North Pole to South Pole. A lot of them go in diagonal. If you look at a soccer ball, the way the stitching is on a soccer ball, that's very similar to that of how they are on the planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I can hardly hear anybody. The sound is like. Is the
The ley
volume
lines
drop?
are out. That's simple.
Well, I need to
Also,
wrap.
I'm probably gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need to wrap this up because I do have game fucking for 8 hours tomorrow that I need to be somewhat awake for. So, Bear,
Okay,
thank
well, it was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Raven.
Good to
for
see you,
coming.
nerds.
Yeah,
Good to see you, Bear.
Oh, hi, Raven. How are you? How you been? Long time no speak.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we should do this more often.
No,
Yeah.
we
A
really
little
should.
more warning would be nice. No,
It's just not a good idea. It can only end in tears. Of
so funny.
laughter and joy.
With that being said, I want to thank the panel for showing up and putting up with me and the craziness that this night brings. I will see a few of you guys throughout the week. Raven, it's always a pleasure. Thanks
for having me.
Thanks for popping in and just being the AI bot that you are.
All you can ask for, right?
Exactly. Jack, go to bed. Shadow, talk to you later, brother. Crafty Gamers,
Always.
see you around. And for everybody who's still watching this, try to have a good year. Whatever plans that you're thinking about trying to pull off, let's pull off half of them. And I'm going to go get drunk. Y'all have a good night.
It's going to be a great year, folks.
Good night.
Happy trails.
Good night.
Hey, everybody.
Watch out for ley lines.
I hate for you to trip over them.